Hallelujah. How's it going, everybody? It's critical. I didn't have the link tree up. I don't remember what number we're on. I'm gonna guess like 100. I was gonna say 162.
Oh, that's too high. Who cares?
It is critical episode a number. Oh, 111.
There we go.
Well, fuck me. I'm Mongo, joined as always by my co-host Liger Boost. So we were gonna record last week, but when I woke up, my stomach was killing me. And I didn't feel very good, and then I was okay a couple of hours later. But we didn't record. We opted to do that today. There's all sorts of.
I was in the garage moving stuff around.
Jeez. I was having bowel movements. That's what I was doing on Sunday. Yeah, that's about as far as we're gonna go with that. There's a lot of WrestleMania week related shenanigans. A couple of interesting video game related announcements that have nothing to do with wrestling that I want to talk about, and actually one of them ties into what the planned theme for last week would have been too. So there's that. But before we get there, it's been 2 weeks. How have you been?
No, not too bad. Not much going on this week, I guess. Off the top of my head, I was like, I can't think of anything that I've done. But yeah, not too bad. How about you?
Oh, so the one manager at my job that I had any semblance of respect for is now gone.
Oh.
And the manager of the whole facility is about to be the most insufferable piece of shit in the history of humanity. I'm saying this with full knowledge that the creep that I used to work with is going to listen to this. Please send it to them. I want them to know.
I just picture this guy looking like Gollum or something.
Oh, the creep, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
that's actually not far off. And Friday was her last day, and it was one of those like people worked, but not really, because we were all just like, "Fuck, it's about to get really bad, isn't it?"
Yeah.
And so like we're gonna see how I'm doing the next time we record this show in 2 weeks, because I have a feeling my demeanor is going to be very, very different. I mean, beyond that, like, you know me, thugging and bugging. That's about all I can do. I can't dance like Teddy, or else I would.
I forgot to mention something that I just remembered was I did get the sealed copies of Second Bout for PC Engine and Fire Pro D for Dreamcast. So just randomly, I was like, I'm gonna buy sealed copies of Fire Pro games, and I got the card battle pack as well. So I got like those big protector boxes for them, and now I feel like I need to buy like all the Fire Pro games sealed, but I don't know if I'd actually do that because it's not easy to find them sealed, like all of them for one thing.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
That was pretty cool. I mean, it didn't even the shipping and stuff like didn't cost much at all. So yeah, that was really neat. Something else this week is that I was putting all my all the new LGNs into my storage unit, and I couldn't find my key, and I'm like looking everywhere, and like at the back door for whatever reason we have like 1,000 keys, just mystery keys. So I ended up going to the unit and trying every single key. None of them worked, and I was like, oh god, like what am I gonna do? And then I looked in a drawer, and there it was, the key. So I finally found it. Went and put all my LGNs in there. I like having a storage unit. Now, obviously, it'd be nice to have more space in the house, but I just like there's like a place where I can randomly open and see what's in there. Like a hidden treasures or something. It's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of just like my closet in the fucking what we used to use as the toy room in this house. Yeah. I'll just walk in there and find shit that I completely forgot that I had. Oh, I did end up getting Live in Japan 05, the WWE DVD.
Right.
And I didn't realize this, but they edited the Benoit and Jericho match off of the Saitama Super Arena Raw, because that's the opening match. And I put that thing in my PS4, and I was like, just like fast forward, I'm like, where the fuck is that match at? And then I looked at the back of the case, and I'm like, oh, you know what? This is like late 07, early 08. Yeah, they were not going to fucking release something with him on it.
Yeah.
It's a very cool DVD. It was funny to load it up, and there's like an ad for the Japanese release of the Walmart exclusive Undertaker 15 and 0 DVD. I saw that, I was like, yeah, Walmart exclusive, my ass. Could fucking rock up to like Lawson or some shit and pick that up, huh? Also, just kind of funny to see the old like '07 era Don't Try This at Home video with subtitles. And something I thought was neat was subtitles are on by default, but you can turn them off. It's got English commentary and everything, so it's not like one of the things I was kind of hoping was that it would be the Japanese dub where Norio Wakamoto voices Vince McMahon, but unfortunately, there's no dubbing. They did dub over Maven's theme though, which pissed me off because what the fuck, man. I love that theme. Yeah, cool DVD. The Tajiri matches are spread out across 2 discs, so you get kind of like 3 matches extra on each disc. One of which is the Rey Mysterio match from September '03 SmackDown, which is fucking great. The Hassan Benjamin versus Eddie and Tajiri ladder matches on there. It's also pretty great. And the Saitama SmackDown is probably the show I like more out of the 2, just because of the Bradshaw segment and the Angle and Ray main event. And John Cena being the most over white boy you've ever seen at the Saitama Super Arena, this side of like fucking Mirko Pro Cop.
Yeah.
That shit was nuts, dude. Basic Thugonomics hits, and like there's like, that's our guy. That's our white boy.
They might have thought it was the same person based on the hair.
Maybe. I finally watched the Eddie Guerrero documentary they did back in like '04, Cheating, Death, Stealing Life, because I have a DVD copy of it that I got like 5 years ago, but I just never threw it in for whatever reason.
I have a copy around somewhere.
Great documentary, but also, and this didn't dawn on me until I was like right at the end, this was on UPN. It was a 1-hour special. They skip over a lot.
I seem to remember it was on TV.
Yeah, it was, at least in the US, it aired on UPN, because this was when UPN did the Mania of WrestleMania and Cheating, Death, Stealing Life. And the Mania of WrestleMania ends up as an extra on WrestleMania 20. Which I remember the WrestleMania 20 DVD having a shit ton of extras, especially like the original like 3-disc version. That thing was like packed.
Yeah.
I also watched WrestleMania 19 in full for the first time in years. And it's a hell of a thing when you see Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon, which is like the Super Bowl of shit human beings. And that match is so good. It shouldn't have been. On no planet would you logically think that match was going to be good, and then it's like, at worst, the second best thing on the show. And Roddy Piper shows up because I don't fucking know, man. Best thing on that show is Rock versus Austin, though. Shout outs to the Crack Addict music video. Shout outs to Crack Addict in general.
At least Roddy Piper showing up made sense, as opposed to, like Triple H and Sting bullshit.
Yeah. And then the Triple H and Booker match. So I haven't watched that match in full since 2012. If it weren't for the finish of that match, I would sit here and tell you it's a pretty all right match. But then Triple H beats him. And on commentary, and here's something to note before I say this, Vince McMahon was never in Jerry Lawler's headset. That was confirmed by Jim Ross in like one or both of JR's books. Vince would scream at Jim Ross. Jerry Lawler never had that motherfucker in his headset. So Lawler's sitting there talking about like, oh, Booker T's done nothing but make bad choices, and we can't have someone like Booker T represent us. And it's like, at one point, Jim Ross is just like, you've run the horse into the you've run that horse into the ground, and like, oh yeah, Jerry almost dropped a GD on pay-per-view. That was a good bit. And it's like so overbearing, and obviously they acknowledge the fucking shit in the hype video, like, oh, I'm not going to lose the belt to someone like you. Well, I wonder what he fucking means by that. It's not that hard to figure out. And it's so weird that match happens on that show, because like, it's the worst thing on the show by a lot. Like the Miller Lite Catfight Girl stuff doesn't age well, and also I thought it was kind of lame when I was 12 anyway. And I was like the fucking target audience for that particular segment. But that match was fucking awful. The commentary was brutal. Like the fucking video package, you can't edit out the fact that there was like some serious fucking racial overtones, even undertones. It was like right in your face. It's not
show.
It's
all part of the show. Enjoy the ride.
And then Bruce Pritchard, that fucking fat piece of shit, goes on his podcast and says like, "Oh, when Triple H said people like you, he meant people from WCW," and it's like,
right,
you know, that kind of doesn't track when they were making fun of Booker for having nappy hair.
Yep.
Like when I was a kid, I knew that was racist shit. And you know, like elsewhere on the show, like the women's title 3-way was really good. I didn't remember that match being any good. Undertaker does his best given the situation. Like that match is not like, I'm not even gonna say it's like 3. That match might be like 2 stars if I'm being really generous. But it's probably a whole lot better than it would have been had Nathan Jones been in the ring the entire time. Oh, fucking Colossus of Boggo Road. God bless him. And what else did I watch recently? That wasn't Bloodsport and Night 1 of Mania. Oh, I watched Dynasty. And by I watched Dynasty, I mean I watched 3 matches.
I watched the full show, yeah.
I thought Darby versus Andrade was the best of the 3 matches I watched. I thought the spot where Andrade was like resting on the ropes and Darby just fucking dove at him was insane. It looked like Darby got the worst of it. Very good match. I thought Jamie Hayter and Tekla had a much better match than they did at Wrestle Dream. Like the degree to which that match was improved was kind of amazing. But also at Wrestle Dream, they had like a 15-minute pay-per-view opener that was super cold after the fucking pre-show main event bled onto the main card. And here they had a match that was, in all honesty, still kind of cold in terms of like any sort of heat leading into it. They had a great match. Crowd was with it. Tekla is awesome. I think the bit where she talks like an anime dub villain rules. She's very funny. And then I watched Ospreay versus Moxley because I was like, maybe this will be good. And then the match starts. Ospreay hits a hidden blade. And the whole story to this match is he's so pissed off he's going to fucking hurt Jon Moxley, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you would think after you hit the guy with your finisher, you'd fucking follow up on it and beat the fuck out of him, right? No, he stares into the crowd for like 30 seconds and then starts going, how much time have I got left? Like, how fucking lame are you? And then he hits another hidden blade to knock Moxley out of the ring, and I knew this match was fucking screwed. I knew this match was sunk. Like, people correctly shit on the he takes the paradigm shift, stands up, and hit the hidden blade spot. And I was talking to you about this before we recorded. Matt Kuhn tried to be like, oh, that's so unrealistic. Anyway, here's a Hulk up. And like, Hulk didn't do that shit multiple times a fucking match. That was typically the big babyface comeback, and you were getting to the finish one way or the other. Right. Ospreay takes people's finishes and then stands up and fucking does his shit immediately. There's no selling. There's no fucking reason. Like my friend Kara pointed out, like, you can beat everybody else on the roster with these moves, but Ospreay fucking just stands right up like they don't have any effect on him.
Mm. Yep.
There's nobody in that company that's going to be like, hey, fucking stop doing this. And also, it's him wrestling to the sensibilities of one fucking person. And that one fucking person and chasing his imaginary fucking ratings also plays a huge part in why Will Ospreay had to have a neck fusion at fucking 32 years old.
Yeah.
Anyway, they go outside the ring, and another thing that drives me fucking insane in AEW is the rules mean nothing. The rules mean jack shit. They're outside for like a solid fucking minute and a half, 2 minutes, it felt like. And then Moxley does a pile driver on the steps to Ospreay and gets in the ring. Then they start the count. And you know it's not going to be a count out because nobody fucking loses by a count out in AEW, so why we have the 10 count on the floor is fucking beyond me. Ospreay gets in at 9. Moxley does the curb stomp and 2 paradigm shifts, and Ospreay fucking kicks out. This is a guy who's coming back from like a neck injury, and the whole story of the match is his neck is still fucked up, but he's going to make Moxley pay. Moxley drops him on his head 4 fucking times in one match before he hits a 5th fucking head drop, and then that's the finish. That match sucked, and it's not Jon Moxley's fault. Whoever the fuck is telling Will Ospreay it's okay for him to do this shit needs to fucking be taken out back. It's ridiculous. Like,
yeah, I mean, for all the talk about his like neck injury, it's hard to buy into it when he's taking like 20 moves on top of his neck. You know, it's silly.
Yeah, it taxes. And granted, I understand that modern wrestling isn't necessarily concerned with credibility or whatever, but it taxes the credibility of everybody on the show. Like, if this one guy can just take your shit and stand right up and make you look like a fucking idiot, what's the point of everybody? Like, why would you ever fight him? Why wouldn't you just fight each other?
Yeah, he's not supposed to be like a final boss, but he acts like one. You know what I mean?
And then there's the quote with him about like, oh, look who I was with in Japan, Okada and Ishii. And it's like, okay, let's dissect that for a moment. You have the Ace and you have the Tank. These two ideas do not go together. They're incongruent. Ishii goes like 15 minutes most of the time at max, takes a shit ton of damage, deals a shit ton of damage, but it's all front loaded. The longer the match goes, the more of a chance you have against him. The Ace takes damage over an extended period of time and releases that in the big comeback. You can't be both. You can't be the Tank that takes a bunch of damage and then still be there at like the 30-minute mark and do a big comeback. Doesn't make any fucking sense. At that point, you are the kid playing cops and robbers on the playground with the fucking invisible shield and the rocket launcher and the fucking the tank and all this other shit. Like you're just the kid that fucking has like super armor and nobody can ever hurt you. That's fucking lame. And I've had people try to use that quote to be like, you know, there's an interesting story they could tell about how he learned how to take, you know, damage while wrestling in Japan. And I'm like, yeah, it still doesn't work though. It would be like saying oh, I was around like fucking Ric Flair and like Road Warrior Hawk. Okay, well, they're two different wrestlers. You can't be both. You're either the fucking ass kicker who goes 10 minutes or you're the fucking main event guy that goes 45. You cannot be both.
They should just come up with like, he sold his soul to the devil and now he's got like an invincible neck or something.
Well, yeah. Geez. Oh, I watched the Young Bucks versus Takeshita and Okada match too, and I was begging Takeshita to sell one fucking thing in that match. I liked him a lot, and then he got the IWGP title, and I watched Hiroki Goto do everything he could to have a good match with him, and that match was not. And I finally had to realize, like, nah, Takeshita's a DDT wrestler. Yeah, he can have good matches with certain people, but on the whole, he kind of sucks.
I did actually miss that match, and then I caught like the end of Jericho and Ricochet.
I didn't watch that. You couldn't pay me to watch fucking Jericho versus Ricochet. I watched that tag match because I was like curious. And then the whole idea, right? If they win, Takeshita gets a title shot, but then Takeshita fucking lets them do the finish to Okada. And then they're having the match anyway. So what the fuck was the point of the tag match at the pay-per-view other than to get the Young Bucks to win?
God knows.
I don't get it. And then I watched Dynamite on Wednesday. And when they announced Darby versus MJF and it's in Washington, I was kind of like, maybe. And then they announced the Adult Swim miniseries on YouTube, which I watched the first like short they did about Darby. It was cool, good animation. Yep. And I was like, I'm gonna tune in, but I know they're gonna fucking beat Darby because I don't expect this company to fucking do anything that makes me happy at this point. And they do the opening segment, and Darby comes out like crying, and I'm like, "Oh Jesus, no! He might actually do it." And they do the shit where Max is like, "Well, I didn't know I had a title match," and they create the plausible deniability that like he brushed Tony off or pie faced him or whatever, so he didn't have to go to the scrum, and that's where the match was announced. But I'm like, he was playing dumb because like there's no way somebody as terminally online as Max didn't see that match announcement. Like if we're all just living in this world where all this is real, right?
Yeah, I
And
thought
they do the video.
the opening segment was really good.
Yeah, I liked it. It went a little long, but it did its job at the end, certainly too.
Yep.
I liked the video package in the middle of the show. I thought they were running a little long, which is a problem sometimes with Dynamite. Because the match got in the ring at 10 o'clock, and I was like, they're going until 10:30, aren't they? And then they didn't. But before we get there, Darby's walking down the hallway, and they do the shit where they stop, and the camera pans out, and it's Sting. And I went, okay, there's probably not a universe where they got fucking Real Estate Steve to fly to Washington and put the paint on for nothing. And then they have the match, and it was, like 2 minutes maybe. But it was like the smartest work bunch of bullshit you've ever seen. Like Max is like, oh, I'm sorry, forgot about the diamond ring. Here you go. He low blows Darby. He goes to do something else. Darby kind of shifts him in front of Aubrey. Aubrey turns her back. Darby low blows Max. Scorpion death drop, 4 coffin drops, and then he beats him with the headlock takeover. Which the whole thing was fucking, it was brilliant. And I apparently, because I get sent fucking tweets all the time and I have to fucking try to work around the browser with them. You fucking see all the people like, this is so stupid. Why would they squash MJF? Because this is the perfect way for this motherfucker to get his comeuppance. And also Darby's not going to be champion for very long.
Yeah. Because
like,
yeah, he's a heel, and he's been a heel that constantly takes advantage of the baby faces and fucks them over and does all this bullshit. So it's all right for him to lose his title in a short, dramatic fashion.
Yeah, and like he has the fucking, well, I just wrestled Kenny 3 days earlier. It went 40 minutes, which Jesus Christ, why are we doing that? That's not even a Kenny thing, it's a Max thing. And like this isn't WWE where they constantly, like, one of my problems with AEW is the heels always look fucking like, the heels always clearly look like they have the upper hand, and very seldom do they ever, actually have to eat shit. Death Riders. And this was a case of Max being like, yeah, I'll do the job. It's fine. And he probably knew that like a long match wouldn't serve them on this. Not that they couldn't have a good match, because they have Full Gear 2021. But this was the right call. And I saw the fucking Dave Meltzer clip of like, well, your world champion should be one of your top 2 or 3 guys, and Darby Allin's not that. Like, fucking imagine saying that shit about Jeff Hardy in like 2008 when they gave him the WWE title.
Yeah.
Guy is consistently one of the most popular fucking acts in the company. He's in the like top 10% or maybe even 5% of like best actual in-ring workers in that company. And he climbed to fucking the top of Mount Everest and put the flag at the top. At that point, if you're not giving that motherfucker the title at least once, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy if you think about it.
And like just the vitriol, and a lot of it I'm convinced is coming from people that don't actually watch the show.
Oh, most likely.
And I'm not even talking about like the allegations against Darby Allin during the speaking out movement and whatever investigation AEW did that cleared him. I've also said on the show, I don't think Darby Allin's a fucking good person. I just like watching him take stupid bumps because he's really good at it. But like the people that are making the comments about that, like, I get it. I understand that. The people that are like, oh, he's not the kind of guy you put the title on. Okay, then who is? Would you also have not put the belt on Jeff Hardy? Would you not put the belt on fucking like Rey Mysterio? Because I keep seeing the size thing. Like Rey Mysterio is a multiple-time world champion. He's not that much bigger than Darby.
Right.
Better wrestler than Darby, to be fucking perfectly clear. But like, and also the size thing doesn't matter. It's not 1996 anymore. The business isn't full of fucking 6'3", 250-pound former football players.
They don't even refer to it as the heavyweight title anymore. It's just the world title.
Yeah. Yeah, it only gets referred to as that in promos by like a very select few people.
Yeah.
So like, who fucking cares? Like, they put the belt on a really overact on a show that probably, if fans would have thought there was a chance of a fucking title change, and maybe if it was announced more than 3 days out, it might have drawn better. I don't fucking know. But what I do know is we have a world title match on Wednesday with him and Tommaso Ciampa that might be pretty fucking neat.
Mm-hmm.
And Max is apparently still factored in for Double or Nothing, whatever those plans look like. And obviously, they planted the seed for fucking Omega Ospreay for the world title at some point. I'm assuming All In.
I think so, yeah.
I think giving those two the main event of a stadium show may result in one or both being severely crippled after the match because they will go nuts. Like, and that's like my thing with Ospreay. You can do the no-sell stuff if it's like a stadium show match, like a big match. You can't do it every fucking match. It's stupid. You're shitting on everything. It's very dumb. I watched Bloodsport. The long of it was not a very good show, and it reminded me why I don't watch all of them. The short of it is, it was not a very good show. It's apparently the last one for the foreseeable future, which I saw speculation on like Instagram that like Barnett signed a coach deal with WWE, and he certainly fits in the Performance Center.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, that's sort of the first thing that I thought of was he's probably saying.
The one thing bringing him in as a coach has the benefit of like he's an actual like catch wrestler trained under Billy Robinson, trained under Sakuraba, and also was in New Japan and was in the dojo with like Inoki. So there's a benefit to having a guy that understands that version of wrestling, but there's no universe in existence where WWE allows anybody to be taught that and then apply it on their television.
Yeah, there's no benefit to it in WWE.
No. I mean, if AEW had a developmental, that would be, an okay idea.
But I mean, you could teach them about the Proud Boys or the Proud Boys and that stuff. So there you go.
That's why I said he fits in the Performance Center.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things you can teach them that don't have to involve pro wrestling. I'm sure he'll be doing that stuff.
Probably.
You see,
I mean, it's an indoctrination camp.
They had Tom MacDonald standing next to Steve Austin.
The fucking Canadian MAGA rapper, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Well, didn't he do like a music video where like fucking Scotty 2 Hotty and that fucking, what was her name, Lacey Evans was in it?
Yeah, it was like uncancelable or some shit. And it's like Scotty 2 Hotty's thing was that he didn't like intergender wrestling or something, and it's like that's what you think you are quote unquote cancelled for? Like, I don't think so. You still have a job.
I mean, he has a job.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he has a job.
He was so cancelled he got to go to work the next day.
Yeah, like it's so. And the intergender wrestling thing was like the weirdest fucking hill to die on, because there's absolutely an argument to be made that some of it in the US gets presented in a really questionable fucking way, and you don't see it presented that way in Japan or Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, it's not treated like this weird simulated domestic violence power fantasy kind of thing in Japan. Like, if Fujiwara's in the ring with Kana, they're just having a match.
Speaking of which, did you see Senka versus Chris Hero?
I saw that it happened.
Yeah, they haven't released the match yet, but there was clips. That was pretty cool. It's just a mystery opponent.
Yeah, it's always cool when Chris Hero decides to come back. I wanted to like that Thatcher match more than I did, but it was still really good. It just wasn't as good as the one I remember from WrestleMania weekend in 2015. Mm-hmm. That match was awesome.
Yeah, the only full show I've seen from the weekend was the Stardom show, which was pretty fun. I mean, I did see some of the House of Glory just because it was on. I saw some of that show, but I wasn't really into anything that I saw, to be honest.
I have no idea what they booked.
It was just a bunch of people that I did not know until they had Charlie against Shotzi. I saw that RVD broke Kenta's nose.
Yeah, apparently RVD was super fucked up at every one of his appearances this weekend.
Oh, nice.
and Sandman was somehow coherent enough to wrestle the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
I didn't see that match. I did see the clip of Mick Foley coming in to fuck up the Invisible Man, and that's a great bit. Like Foley put him in the corner and started throwing those punches like he could actually see him. And after what Rock did to him at Rumble '99, I'm not convinced that Mick couldn't.
Where was Tommy Cairo?
Well,
we needed him in that match. Sandman should have came out in his. Yeah, Sandman should have came out in his bodysuit for old time's sake.
Oh God, I don't want to see old man Hack in that shit, bro.
I mean, it was bad enough seeing young man Hack in that shit. Dude was really fat back then.
He's not less fat now. And then I unfortunately got roped into watching Night 1 of Mania, which if you have to watch the WWE product, my recommendation is to watch it with a friend of yours that still thinks it's like half real and gets progressively drunker throughout the entire show. Because you will get moments of great comedic gold, like when Steiner Jr. comes out and spears Seth Rollins, and your friend wanted Seth Rollins to win. And he's like, "That's fucking cheating." And it's like, ref didn't see it, buddy. Don't know what to tell you. Ref can't call what they can't see.
I like how Seth had the black contacts in. It made me think he was the kid from the 7 videos in WCW.
Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. Also, he hits like fucking 4 finishers on Gunther and then loses the match. And it's like, wow, you look like the biggest fucking shithead, bro. Maybe get some offense that actually works. Also, why did you walk away from your opponent after you put him through the table and allowing fucking Steiner Jr. to come in and spear you? I don't know, man. Seth Rollins might be an idiot and a bad wrestler. I also said that to my friend. He got really pissed at me. It was great.
I didn't watch any of that show. I just saw the clips online. I did have a lot of fun making fun of that show and the reaction coming out of it because
it was horrible.
Yeah, like everyone pretty much said it was awful. And then Tony Khan did his like watch Dynamite and seeing the WWE fans in the comments that knew they just watched a bad show but didn't want to admit it going off was real fun.
There was like 7 matches in 4 hours, and it felt like they probably could have wrapped that show up in 2.5.
Well, where would the commercials be if that happened? You know, you need the advertisements.
Well, maybe run the commercials over the entrances like fucking Paramount does with UFC, I guess.
No. You need to have advertisements on the turnbuckles, on the mat, on the apron. You need commercials.
Speaking of the unsanctioned match, they had the fucking Slim Jim tables out there.
Of course.
And I was like, why, bro, do we have Slim Jim fucking and then I remembered I watched the shitty Cody and Cena match where they had them. And I went to Dynamite in Collision last year with one of my friends from Facebook, and he was like, I thought that was a great match. And I was like, once they brought out the Slim Jim tables, I basically was like, yeah, this fucking sucks.
It reminds me of like playing like Undisputed, and like you would unlock sponsorships and then you just put the logos everywhere because it's like, well, I've unlocked it, I want to use it. That's what like WWE is. Just put logos all over the goddamn place. Let's run all these ads. The last time I watched it, which I can't, and apparently last night was even worse. I cannot imagine sitting through that show. I wouldn't make it, even if I wanted to.
It was brutal. Yeah, the TKO celebrity integration fucking sucks.
Yep.
Even as somebody that doesn't watch the product, it's like, why is, and we'll talk about the figure reveals because it's about to tie into like the thing I'm about to say. Why the fuck is Jelly Roll so fucking prominently featured on professional wrestling television? Well, it's not pro wrestling. It's sports entertainment. It's WWE. But like, what? Imagine if fucking Fred Durst got heavily involved with the main event angle. Imagine if Fred Durst and fucking like Carson Daly did an angle before the fucking Mania 17 main event.
I mean, the only thing Fred Durst really did was like appear in the video games, and I feel like there was enough people back then that were just like, why? But look at it now, it's like video games, action figures in the main event, all over the goddamn TV, and it's just like it's awful. Like I don't know how people can stand it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Especially someone like him. You know, it's like someone that looks so out of shape and all these dumbass tattoos, and he looks, like I said previously, he looks like somebody that would have like faced the Road Warriors in like the 80s and then left the business the same day after they kicked his ass. Um, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. You know, like it's one thing to have like an athlete or someone in there like who like you see them go through the training and stuff, and you know they at least try to make wrestling look good. But it's like now it's just like they bring all these celebrities in who, like they had IShow Speed and he's in great shape and he's a good athlete and everything, but it's like doing these goddamn dives in his like first match, and it's just like it makes wrestling look like the easiest thing in the world, especially when you've got this ugly looking dude in the main event. It's just I don't I don't know. For Triple H, for a guy that was like, and I know it's not just him, but a guy that was like, oh, I loved Ric Flair and Harley Race and all this shit, and then you just see like the show that he's booking has all these shitty celebrities and matches, and it's just like, yeah, okay.
I'm wondering how much of that is like TKO forcing their hand.
I'm sure it's
Not
a
to
lot of
excuse Hunter,
yeah,
but
I'm sure
like,
it. I'm sure it is a lot of them, you know, but like I don't know. It's just like I would push back so much on it, and I don't get the sense that he would be.
well, from those texts we saw, that motherfucker was in fear for his life
Yeah,
when
he's
the
like,
merger happened.
Hi, Nick. Did you get my text? Did you
What a
get my
fucking
text?
what a fucking bitch, bro.
Oh God.
Just what a fucking loser. Jesus Christ.
He's got it set so
Um,
that his pacemaker rumbles every time he gets a text from Nick Khan.
maybe if he gets like 3 in a row, it'll short circuit and we'll be
Oh
free
damn.
of seeing Triple H.
Right.
So we saw the Mattel reveals on Thursday, and I was kind of shocked that we didn't really get any more after that. But some of the highlights, if you want to look at it that way, we saw the factory sample of Defining Moments New Jack. This thing looks like shit. I knew it was going to look like shit from the renders, but after seeing the actual Zombie Sailor prototype, I'll wait however long I have to get that figure. This thing is fucking awful. That head sculpt doesn't look like New Jack, like at all.
I didn't even see it, to be honest.
Did I not send that to you? It's on the My Damn Toys Instagram page. I'll say that.
Not
Just
surprised though.
shitty fucking head sculpts, and people dunk on Bill for like always getting the Japanese women right, but not getting anybody else right the first time. This is probably a one and done figure of New Jack, and he couldn't do any better than this. Give me a fucking break. Um, there's a Cody Rhodes Ultimate as part of the Amazon pay-per-view or PLE, whatever the fuck, exclusive line. It's cool. I don't have any use for it. They revealed the like final version of the Bash at the Beach 96 3-pack. And I love the presentation, like with all the garbage and stuff that got thrown into the ring. My question to you is, if you're somebody that bought the Ultimate Outsiders either on Ringside or at Ollie's, what fucking incentive do you have to buy this set?
None.
Like, oh, you
Did,
can get Hogan, but like, who
I
cares?
just think the Hogan in that set more looks more like the Huckster than it did Hogan. Like his mustache wasn't as defined at that show specifically. You know, it didn't stand out as much. It almost looked like he didn't have one when he first came out. Um, but they always make it like so visible on the action figures. So I was just like, this doesn't look like much like Hogan at all. But I mean, it's a cool
He
idea for a
also
set.
He also has the removable bandana, which looks like a fucking bike helmet. Because God forbid we just sculpt these fucking things on. Everything's got to be removable, bro. It's fucking stupid. There were some cool like Target Legends reveals. There's the greatest hits line with like the blue and black Heart Foundation, a remake of the Matty Collector Rockers Shawn Michaels. And the one that pisses me off the most is we're getting Great Muta in black, but with blue and red face paint.
Yeah.
And this figure is in a greatest hits line exclusive to Target. And my recollection of the last one that they did like this was that they did not hit Mattel Creations or the Target website. The Build-A-Figure in this wave is Jimmy Hart.
It's getting annoying that they've done so much NWA Muta. They did the NWO and like the Shinsuke match and like the WCW Chase 99 Muta, but it's like there's a lot more you could do. Like you don't just have to keep releasing like the black or red pants with different face paint. You could do like 92 when he really started adding like the font on his pants and like the lightning designs and stuff like that. There's all sorts of different stuff you could do. I'm kind of sick of seeing like this NWA era stuff.
You know what it is, honestly, is Bill works off of reference photos. He does not like actually load up events and fucking use that as reference.
Yeah, that sucks because even in WCW, he wore a lot of different stuff. Like,
yeah,
I think
there's
when
way
he
cooler
wrestled,
attires.
yeah, there's like he had all blue against I think like Austin or Barry Windham was like the all white maybe, and like the Orndorff matches when he wore I think it was black and like the old face paint. So there's just like all different things, but they just keep going back to the same old NWA one, which is there's nothing on the trunks or the pants, so it's like less detailed. It's just like I appreciate that there's all these different mutas, but it's like come on, let's do something different.
Yeah. We saw another Target wave. It's bearded Yokozuna from '96, a reissue of an Earthquake figure that's in like the blue singlet with like the red little Richter scale thing. Hall of Pain Mark Henry, which looks a little too skinny, and Rogue Horseman Brian Pillman. The Build-A-Figure, further proving the Power Town has licensed out everybody they claim to have signed. The Build-A-Figure is Dory Funk Jr.
Yeah.
Cool set. Kind of wish Dory was part of like a Matty Collector Territories set, but apparently the first one didn't sell very well. And then we saw test shots of like NWA Steiners and the Tonga Kid. They confirmed Rick's gonna have the little face drawn on his hand. That's why he was posed with like the hand kind of out in the case. I think it's really weird that they're just like completely ignoring that people want WrestleMania 9 Steiners.
And
But
that's
maybe
what
there.
that's what I thought it was going to be at first because I didn't realize it was a Tonga Kid. I thought it was one of the head shrink, and I was like, oh, so like maybe like a WrestleMania 9 stuff, and yeah, guess not.
They showed off a Walmart exclusive box set. It's John Cena, Hulk Hogan, and Batista from that dark match that went on the vault. It's an interesting way to get, basically WrestleMania 21 Batista back out there. I think Cena's got a new torso and like the new, like longer jorts mold. I also think it's a really funny thing to have Hogan posed in the box with both belts on him.
Yeah, because the two belts that what was it? It was a spinner belt. What was the other one? Was it
The
the,
like
the
WWE logo, big gold.
right? So two belts that he technically never held.
Yeah, and we got confirmation of that Intercontinental Champion Hall of Champions box set with Pat Patterson, Honky Tonk Man, CM Punk, and Dominic Mysterio. The Monday Night War line had some interesting reveals. We have a weirdly uncertain future for that line if Mattel Steve has not clarified on wrestling figs yet. because they unveiled a new Walmart exclusive set, which we'll talk about in a minute. But they only showed 2 Elite sets for Monday Night Wars and 2 Ultimates. And actually, I think only one of the sets was new, right? The Bret Hart, Regal, Warrior, and Goldberg one,
Right.
with the fucking Rockabilly Build-A-Figure, because that's what everybody's fucking asking for. You know what I mean? We gotta have the obscure wrestle crap bullshit.
Yeah, the
I think
idea of the Monday Night Wars line was exciting, but I don't think they've really took it full advantage of it.
no, but I think my biggest problem is they did like really weird, obscure, like GI Bro instead of like main event Booker T is insane.
Yeah.
Like, I understand doing Harlem Heat and then TV champion Booker. Like, that's cool because you're showing the progression of Booker T throughout like the time that Nitro was on the air. The fact that we're potentially not getting main event Booker T is egregious.
Mm.
And like, we got Steve Blackman, but they could have gone out and signed fucking Gangrel.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that they could have just picked up.
They could, I mean, Ahmed Johnson's probably too busy sharing AI images of Obafemi kissing Charlotte Flair on a red carpet to pick up his
Did he
phone and sign a licensing deal.
did he do that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
friends with Ahmed Johnson on Facebook. I've been friends with him on Facebook for like 13 years. And I opened Facebook the other day just to fucking, honestly, just to check my local county mugshots page just to see if I recognized anyone. And the first thing I saw was him sharing that. And I was like, buddy, you're cooked.
What did he say?
He just shared the picture. He didn't add a caption. It was like a post that he shared. And like in the comments, people were like, dude, this is AI. This is clearly AI. And he just, at that point, obviously had not deleted the post. All of this to say, like, there's people out there like, this fucking sign Buff Bagwell.
Yeah, why not?
Like, sign Scorpio. People seem to really like the idea of Flash Funk figures. Now sign Scorpio.
I don't
You know
know.
what?
I don't know if it would be agreed upon, but like a Mortis figure would be really cool if that's possible.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine Canyon's family is willing to license him because there was at least at one point a Pro Wrestling Tees page and he's licensed for Ultra Pro. So
Right.
like fucking make a deal with Chris Canyon's family. Get over whatever the issue is with fucking Brian Clark and do Wrath. You've got Brian Adams. You could literally do Chronic. It's the opposite situation of when they were doing that Ruthless Aggression line and they signed a bunch of Ruthless Aggression people and then killed the fucking line. There's a ton of people you can do, and they're just not
Saturn.
doing them. Fucking goddamn right. Like 3 different versions of Saturn you can do.
Yep.
Raven's out there. Fucking, you can't get Dean Malenko, but like you got Eddie. Well, they've done Eddie a million, but they've only done WCW. But I guess
Yeah.
WWF Eddie wouldn't be that different, would he?
Well, you could add like the Latino heat shirt and all that stuff. I mean, there's some different things you could do, I guess.
Where the fuck's Rikishi in this line?
Backing that ass up.
Like his most recent figure was like a From the Vault reissue of a figure from like 2014 or some shit.
Yeah.
Fat wear Badman Rikishi was fucking Monday Night Wars. It was the end, but that's a Monday Night Wars character. Haku, bro.
I was just really gonna say that. Yeah,
Where's like
Haku.
Faces of Fear Ming? Because they love doing one guy without having the tag partner. Where's Ming?
You could do like pre-Faces of Fear with him in like the suit. You could do Faces of Fear. You could do the afro. Looks like
They've
Epic
got
was
Norman
teasing.
Smiley.
It looks like Epic was teasing a King Haku. By the way.
I saw that. Yeah, I'm getting really bad with remember if I send you shit that I see on Instagram. Because I saw that like right before I jumped in the server before we started
Yeah,
recording.
me too.
We also saw the leaked Ultimate Edition Goldberg was revealed. He is the first men's figure in the line that's going to have the ball jointed lower torso. He's going to have like the disc hinge at the neck, which is cool. I did not realize the last Ultimate Goldberg they did was before the drop down hips, because I was trying to like recreate that pose with. And for those that haven't seen, he's posed like kind of crouched down, preparing to do the spear.
It's
You cannot.
It's like a promo shot that WCW had back in the day.
Yeah, it is. And like, you can't do that pose at all with that previous Ultimate. He's got two new head sculpts. One's kind of like grimacing. The other's like kind of like an angry straight face. He has the screaming face from the previous Ultimate. He comes with the regular like mic grip hands, pointing hands, and like one fist hand. He's got the Who's Next merch shirt. Proper big gold. They're still doing the 4 side plate US title because they just refuse to listen to people that that's not accurate. This figure's awesome. Completely new torso, obviously, because of the new articulation scheme. I'll buy this if I find it easily. It's not even a question.
I was just thinking too, like, did they ever do like the NWO Hollywood like white attire Scott Hall?
As a ringside exclusive a long time ago, I don't think they've ever. Wait, did they reissue that in the From the Vault line actually?
I don't know, but I was thinking of like, you know, some attires that they could do. Like Nash has got to have some like late WCW and like NWO 2000 attires that have never been done as figures, I'm sure.
Now I'm curious if, because I want to say they reissued the old ringside exclusives in the From the Vault line, because I guess those are all really expensive now, and I only imagine the Wolf Sting is going to become more expensive because he's not signing a merch deal with the Fed.
Yeah, definitely.
That Elite line, just to circle back to it, it's Lord Steven Regal with the maroon singlet. If you take that off, it's the blue and red trunks. It's Goldberg from the same show with Sid where the car gets flattened and Sid jumps on top of the car and he's like, Goldberg!
They did that figure as well.
Huh?
They did the Sid from that segment.
Yeah, it's in not the most recent Monday Night War set, but the one before it.
Yeah.
You've got Ultimate Warrior with the baseball cap, the microphone, and the painting that Lawler shatters over his head, which that's a great bit. And you got Brett from what I think is the street fight with Austin.
Sounds about right.
And then they also revealed the next Monday Night War Ultimate, which would be like late this year, early next year, kind of in the DDP slot. They did reissue that haul as a From the Vault figure.
Okay.
There's nothing stopping them from doing it with a different T-shirt in the Monday Night War line, though. Like, fuck it.
Yeah, like I said, I was just thinking of like Hall and Nash specifically, and like Nash would have a bunch of attires from that period where they haven't done, so that's always an option.
I don't think they've done an Elite of him with like just the Nash on the singlet instead of the NWO. They might have done a basic of it.
Right. Yeah, I think they did.
The next Ultimate though is X-Pac, which is cool. One of my friends sent me that like, oh, X-Pac's gonna kill this line, and I'm like, if the shelf warming like Lex Luger Triple H in DDP didn't kill this line, I really don't think it's going to be fair to say X-Pac did it.
No.
It test shot, so not painted. In the ringside video, Magic kind of played coy about what the attire was going to be. In the My Damn Toys video, he flat out just says it's the black and green attire, which I think I wouldn't want the red and black gear, like the first Bone Crunching figure, like the early X-Pac gear, because I always thought that gear kind of sucked. And I don't know that I would have gone the white, black, and red from later on.
The red and black is the one that WWE puts in their games or 2K, and it's just like, I don't know. When it comes to X-Pac, I don't really think of that. You know, I think of like the black and white or the black and green.
Yeah, I think of like the No Mercy attire, like default attire for him, like the black and green, which is apparently the attire we're getting here. I assume we'll see a painted version in a couple of months at Comic-Con. as referenced, they announced a Saturday night's main event line, which is going to be Walmart exclusive. The first wave hits this summer alongside the next Monday Night War Elite wave. It's Hulk Hogan, Hillbilly Jim, CM Punk, and Jey Uso. We previously thought that might have been a Mattel Creations 4-pack, but no, these are Elite figures on retro card. Think like the Marvel Legends, X-Men retro card figures. Cool looking card design. Series 2 is Junkyard Dog, Ultimate Warrior, Braun Breaker, and Cody Rhodes. Warrior was the big winner of this for me. Great looking figure. Weirdly, they're giving everybody the red logo Intercontinental title now, and like that's not the version of the belt they had in 1988 and 89.
When did they have that first?
Like in the Mattel line or in like real life? Because I'm pretty sure it's like
life.
I think it's the original version of that IC title has the red logo.
Yeah.
But I think Honky Tonk Man's the last guy to have it.
Yeah, because then they just had like the straight up gold version of the WWF logo instead of red.
Yeah, and it's weird to see them like it. We just figured out we could paint that red because they had that at one point, so now we're just gonna do it endlessly. It's so bizarre.
I think that they brought that back with like Shawn Michaels, right?
The red logo?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Oh my god! WWE Vault put up Inside the WWF.
Oh, okay.
This is maybe my favorite Coliseum video, actually. The backdrop for it is it's Johnny Polo giving you a tour of the WWF headquarters. It's implied that he presses the button to make the rolling bookcases, the tapes are enclosed, and crushes somebody alive. Gorilla Monsoon has to clarify later in the tape that he made it out in just the nick of time. You get like an Undertaker and Crush match on here. You get the Coliseum video special, Ludwig Borga versus Razor Ramon, where Ludwig wins, but then a ref comes down and he's like, nope, Ludwig did some fuck shit. You got to restart this. And then Razor immediately wins to retain the title. I want to say there's a Shawn Michaels and Diesel versus Marty Jannetty and Razor match on this tape. There's a Randy Savage and Doink match on this tape that they claim is from an arena inside of a mall in Columbus. And nobody I've ever talked to at a show in Columbus that's like my age or older can tell me where the hell that would have been. So I don't know what actual venue that's in. There's a Shawn Michaels Lex Luger match on here. There's a Yoko and Brett Cage match where Yoko hits Brett in the balls a bunch. So if that sounds like something you'd want to see, there's a Bret Hart Adam Bomb match on here that I remember being kind of cool. You get a Tatanka Bam Bam Bigelow match. This tape fucking rules. Is the long and short of it. I didn't mean to blurt that out in the middle, but I searched WWE Vault on YouTube because it's after 9 o'clock and I was wondering, and they've been uploading Coliseum videos on Sundays, and yeah, pretty fucking hyped about this one. I don't remember Shawn having the red logo on the IC title though. I remember he did the he did the different color. They did the different color straps for him.
Did you think maybe they had it at WrestleMania 10?
Maybe they did that to differentiate the belts in the ladder match.
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking is because I think that, and maybe this is just them fucking up, but like, I think the logo, the red logo is like in the 2K games, but it's not like as an 80s belt. It's like as a 90s belt. I could be wrong.
I would also believe that's them just not getting their shit right too, to be perfectly honest. They still seem to think 2002 Raw had fucking silver ring posts.
That's true.
We did see the Survivor Series Elite set for this year. It's Undertaker in the snakeskin pants, Randy Orton from 2004, Booker T in red from maybe it's 02, the first Elimination Chamber. And there's a Jey Uso from a War Games match. Michael Cole's the Build-A-Figure. Shit. I guess they're doing a Bronson Reed Ultimate. He's in Series 33 with like Liv Morgan, and I think Sheamus was the other one. They showed a test shot Ultimate Edition of Brock, and like I don't fucking care. The other big Ultimate Edition news is Coliseum Collection Demolition are in fact real. They're up for pre-order right now. I believe they ship in June. They did not use the same bodies, which is crazy because if they can do that for the Ultimates, why the fuck can't they do that for the Elites?
Something kind of funny about them being on Ringside Collectibles when Ringside Collectibles has their own demolition.
Yeah, yeah, it's a trip, isn't it?
Yeah.
These figures are better. They have the like little leather strap things like actually sculpted instead of fucking painted on in a weird way that it doesn't look like you can actually line the torso up to where it doesn't look stupid. They have the LJN head for Axe. They have a head that they basically said is like this is what we think the LJN Smash would have looked like. And here's my thing. We don't actually have a real good indication of what any LJN Smash would have looked like because that figure would have been slated for like the later part of like 1989 or early 1990.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Grand Toys Black Card series, those figures are all based on early 1989. There's a high degree of likelihood LJN Smash would have had the white, red, and black face paint.
Yeah, I think so.
I also I get why they have them kind of like in the package, you know, they do everybody in like an LJN pose. I get why Smash is like the opposite arm, like basically just mirror Axis pose. But I don't think they would have fucking posed him in the same pose because they didn't really do that with the tag teams.
What are the heads on that? I think it's the one that's like the mostly red face paint. I could be wrong, but I think like he wore that when he had like when he first debuted with like the shorter hair, and it's kind of a shame that they didn't have at least one head that had him with the short hair. But as you said, they probably didn't want to, you know, all different hairstyles or something like that. You know, it'd just be easier to release it as is.
Yeah, they weren't going to tool another head as cool as it would have been to have had like accurate 87 Smash. I wasn't surprised to see this, but there was some pushback from the community that they didn't have the chaps. I saw people say they didn't put enough with them to justify the price point, which is kind of crazy. Um, you're getting multiple heads, multiple sets of hands, the entrance gear. I don't know what else they could have done except the chaps, but also I I can think of like one time they've had the figures released with the chaps. I kind of just don't consider it as something that's essential for a demolition release.
I need to look at it again. Do they have like like the gloves with them?
Yeah,
Oh, they do. Okay. I'm trying to
masks,
think. Out,
vests, gauntlets.
I'm trying to think what else they would have included other than the chops. I mean, that would be it, really, right?
Yeah, I could see the argument maybe for the tag belts, but nah. I feel like if you're a Coliseum collection collector, you probably have the tag belts on the hearts anyways, and they'd look better on demolition.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered. I kind of regret it, but I know I would regret it if I didn't and they ended up selling out.
I get you. I mean, it's really cool that we've got all this demolition stuff now. You know, after all the stuff about like who owns the rights and the trademarks and all that shit. You know, it's really cool to see that they're kind of all over the place right now.
Yeah. We went for years with like just nothing for them, and it's crazy because say whatever you want, they're basically the default like top WWE tag team ever.
It's I'm looking at their Masters of the Universe figures right now, and I mean, if anyone fits that line, oh my god, there's a set with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall head on the same body.
Yeah.
Oh my Jesus.
And they come with like a ring too.
Yeah, and Shawn Michaels.
He's just in like the regular wave with the Hollywood Hogan and Cody
Okay.
Rhodes. Speaking of Shawn Michaels, they showed the Street Fighter Vega Shawn Michaels and the Mark Henry as Balrog.
I think that Vega looks really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they've done some interesting stuff with that line.
Just like having, obviously it's Vega, but like having like the heartbreaks on it and stuff, and I think they did a really good job of combining those two together.
They did for sure. I like that the end of the snake tattoo is like Sean's little like knife through the heart tattoo. That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of brilliant. Like I'm not a fan of like, I'm looking at the picture of it now next to the Rock, and that one looks just kind of lazy compared to the Vega.
We saw some WWE Superstars figures. Obviously, the wave with Demolition and Hacksaw Duggan we knew was coming. We saw Polka Dot Dusty Rhodes, Jesse Ventura, Hillbilly Jim, King Kong Bundy. Those were new. Coco Beware, that one's new. They're doing a John Cena, which I don't think we knew about before, and I think we've seen that Ministry of Darkness Undertaker at some point. This might be the end of this line. If they're bringing back Masters of the WWE Universe, I don't think one is carrying two of that form factor.
Yeah,
that would be really surprising. I'm trying to think if there's anything else interesting from the Mattel. I mean, I guess interesting if you're a longtime collector of their retros is that they're reissuing the Kane and John Cena retros from 2017 and the shitty Diesel retro from 2019.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you want a Diesel, you're probably better off getting the Mitch ones.
Yeah, but we both know there's the insane people that only care if it has a WWE logo.
I know. Stupid.
Oh, and then we saw WWE LJN Series 3, and this, other than the Jelly Roll figure, might be my favorite wave they've done. So we're getting repros of Jake Roberts and Roddy Piper. I love both of those figures. And then we finally saw The Rock. And from the unpainted prototype that we saw on Retro Wrestling Revolution's Instagram page, like the sculpt is really good. And painted, it's even better. And this wasn't mentioned anywhere before we saw the actual figures. He comes with the Big Eagle WWE title, and it looks awesome.
Yeah, that's a really good a good figure. So it's like I'll probably get those ones, or at least I want them, and they'd go in my in my storage unit of the other ones.
Did you get Austin?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
that's a really good figure.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job again, just like the Vega, like the way they're handling these LGNs is they're doing a really good job here as well. But when I saw that Jelly Roll, I
had like a visceral reaction to it. I was so just, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, I could have thrown up right there and then.
Imagine Fred fucking Durst. I mean, Fred Durst getting a figure would have been cool. But this guy's fucking lame as shit.
Yeah, I don't get it. I do not get it.
Oh, also, we're getting a Legends Ultimate of Ultimate Warrior based on Survivor Series 1989. So essentially, a remake of Hasbro Series 2 Ultimate Warrior. Battle damaged face paint face, 4 sets of hands. This one does not appear to have the red logo IC title, and he has that like sweet merch shirt from like 1989 also, like the white shirt with like the cartoon picture.
Yeah, they should do a what if line, because I want to see what an ECW Ultimate Warrior looks like.
I want it just to see the Warrior Duster with ECF and W on it.
Yeah,
oh, they wouldn't do that though.
You know, when he was going to let himself loose to Taz for control of the company.
Yeah, he was willing to put Taz over, but he wanted the book. Also, we're getting an Ultimate Sheamus, which is cool because Sheamus he's a good wrestler. Yeah. I don't know that I'll buy it. I think that covers the Mattel reveals.
Wario's going to buy the company and turn the FBI into the OWN.
See, you can't say stuff like that because that's like a really cool idea, and now I'm mad at that.
Ultimate Tommy Rich.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Load the spaceship, baby. This week, late this week, I think it was Thursday, we got an announcement that Pro Yaku Spirits is getting released in the West, full support. The 2026 version, which means they're going back to yearly releases, which isn't great, but the Western version will not have the World Baseball Classic mode due to licensing.
That sucks.
It does, yeah. Yeah, it does, because I wanted to play as Team Japan. But we're getting the rest of the game. The high school dynasty mode's in, the regular dynasty mode's in, the career mode's in. The trailer looks awesome. They have I'm blanking on the name of the guy that they had do the commentary for the free-to-play game. And
yeah,
it's
I can't remember you, but I saw his face and I'm like, you're not real. I've heard your voice. You're not a real person, but as we know, he is.
Yeah, and so there's a disclosure that they use AI for the Japanese commentary track, which I think is interesting because if you listen to the commentary in the free-to-play game, it's clear they had this guy just like record a bunch of lines.
Yeah.
And they're stitched together sort of the way that like commentary for sports games was on the PlayStation 1.
Yep.
And when I hear that, like, it makes you think like, oh, this is obviously AI. And then you find out like, no, this guy like actually called MLB games. It's just, this is the way they had him fucking record the audio.
Yeah, it was very distracting. I had to switch to the Japanese because I was like, I just can't stand the way this guy's speaking to me right now.
Yeah. And if you watch the English trailer, it's clear it's still the segmented phrases being recorded and fucking used.
Yeah.
This is an easy pre-order. Like, NPB stuff being released in the West is a major step forward. I don't think we'll ever have like real access to footage because they're not going to let that high school tournament be seen by like Western eyes. They're not letting MLB scouts see that shit. I don't blame them.
Yeah, I made a big mistake getting last year's, but I mean, as you said, there was no way I would have known. But like when I loaded it up, obviously with wrestling games, I've played them so many times where, even today I have a pretty good understanding of what's what and where things are. But playing a new game for the first time and seeing all this, I was just like, I'm completely lost. And like so there was a guide, and if you want the full guide, you have to like pay for it. And I was like, what? That's a very 2026 thing. But yeah, I mean, but I'm happy though. I'm glad that it's getting an international release, and the free to play one ran perfectly on my my PC, so I'll probably be picking it up on Steam. And I think it's cool that we get to see the Tokyo Dome in another game for the first time in a while. And I'm sure that could be helpful for people that are like modding games if they can probably grab some textures from that. So that's neat.
Yeah, my first thought was like if somebody was able to export the model of the Tokyo Dome, you'd have to put in a ton of work, but that could probably be slid into Fight Forever because they're both Unreal.
Yeah.
And honestly, them dropping that free to play game makes a lot of sense now. Like test the water, see if people like this, and then figure out a way to release it for the West. I love it. I will be picking that game up. The other video game related thing, and we talked about this, and I don't have any real attachment either, but the Neo Geo AES is being reissued with some quality of life improvements by a company called PlayOn. And cards on the table, I did not know the AES actually existed till I heard about it on like the Pat the NES Punk podcast like over a decade ago. And the idea that Neo Geo were like, hey, here's our fucking arcade hardware. You can own it at home for the low price of $649 in 1990. Ooh. And the games were like 130 or 150. Like, that's so crazy. Sold less than 1 million units worldwide, but everybody that owned one swears it was like the coolest console ever, and I understand. I do. You fucking 1996, you could sit down and play Metal Slug in your house. I fucking get it. And the new version is 249, which is like for something that's basically using as close to the original actual hardware as possible. It's not an FPGA chip like what Analog does. And I don't mean to say that to where it sounds like I'm dunking on Analog because they do great work.
Yeah.
This is apparently going to have as close to the guts of the original system as you can get. It has HDMI. It's compatible with all the original games as well, which you would expect if they're getting as close as they can to the original hardware. The games are $90, which is cheaper than the original versions would have been. They have a couple different variations. There's like a white anniversary one that comes with Metal Slug. There's the anniversary edition. It's like $1,000. You get the games. I think you get the controllers and the memory card too. And I seriously am kicking the tires of buying one of those just to fucking play Metal Slug on my TV on like actual hardware. Because I played that Metal Slug Anthology on the PS2. That shit is terrible. Like massive input lag. But my thing is, if you're somebody buying this now, they have said they were going to support it post-launch, which is cool. How long and how many games? Because that game, that library doesn't have that many games anyway. It's like 150, I think.
Yeah.
So like small library. So realistically, like, are we going to get all of the fighting games? Which, I mean, the fighting games are like a third of the library. Genuinely. Like, are we going to get KOF 98? Because they're launching with KOF 02. Are we going to get, Samurai Showdown like 1? Because they're launching with 5. Is there a chance of Football Frenzy being reissued? 3-count bout. What about that?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I've never really played 3-count bout extensively. It looks basically like Slam Masters before Slam Masters. Because I think it comes out a little bit earlier. And like King of the Monsters, is it possible for that to be reissued? Like there's cool stuff in the launch lineup. Shock Troopers, which is basically like top-down Metal Slug. You've got I don't remember what the name of the racing game is, but it's basically an isometric ridge racer, is how it kind of looks. And KOF 02, Garu Mark of the Wolves, Samurai Showdown 5. There's cool stuff there. It makes me wish that Nintendo and Sega would take a look at this and try something like this. Like, it would have to be like super limited, like boutique kind of stuff. But I kind of think if you gave me the ability to buy a fucking Model 1 Genesis with HDMI natively now, like a new one, so not something that had to be refurbished, like something that was fresh off the line, I think if you gave me the option to buy one of those now, I would. Because I still have a ton of Genesis cards, and I'd love to play them on the TV.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff being done with like old consoles and ways to bring them back and stuff, and like new releases and everything. I think like the Neo Geo specifically is a very cool thing. It was always something that when I found out like there was Neo Geo consoles, I was like, what is this shit? And you see like the Neo Geo CD and like the big boxes and stuff, and it just seems something that you just can't grasp. You know what I mean? It's like something that's like they're expensive, and it's just like this is another world that I've never known about. But
right.
Yeah.
I need them to repro the Neo Geo Pocket Color, and I need one of the launch titles with that to be Big Bang Pro Wrestling, because what do you mean buying that game complete in box costs more than buying a complete in box fucking Neo Geo Pocket Color?
I have a Neo Geo Pocket Color. I did, and like my brother sent me it, and then somehow there was like a big stain on it. I don't even know what it was, but unfortunately I didn't take very good care of it.
I wanted one really badly when I was a kid. I found out there was like a Capcom versus SNK game for it, and it had Zangief on the roster. I was like, fucking, And there was like a Sonic game, and I saw Metal Slug, and there was a Big Bang Pro Wrestling. There was a weirdly high amount of fucking games on that handheld that were like suited to my particular interests. And then I waited too long, and now everything's expensive. But yeah, that Neo Geo AES thing is cool. If I'm able to get it, that'd be cool. But I would also hate if I spent the money on it and then they didn't put out any more games. Because then I'm left to go to eBay and pay like $250 for 3 count bout, or like $400 for Football Frenzy. And at that point, I kind of don't care that much.
It's funny, like I don't know how they compared to like a few years ago, but it's interesting to see like a lot of the Japanese stuff like just go up in price. Like even when it comes to the figures that I used to get for cheap, I get like Great Nita for maybe like $60 or something. To see those figures go up in price, and to see like Virtual Pro Wrestling 2, I think you can't find anywhere for like under $100 now.
Yeah, I paid $130 for my copy I just got.
Yeah, it's you just got a copy?
Back in November or December when I got Jikio Power Pro, I bought a new copy. Or not new to me.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I was like, I wonder if there's any sealed copies of that out there. And I didn't find any, but like all used copies are like over $100. So yeah, the Japanese market is. It used to be like you can get stuff for real cheap, but now you're seeing sort of a switch, at least with some products, where they're starting to realize there's more value to these things than they probably thought.
Oh, dude, when I like 10 years ago, when I decided I was going to finally put together, complete and box the entire Fire Pro series, I was overwhelmed by how like affordable it was. Now, granted, I got lucky with like Final Fire Pro. There was a seller, I got it for like $20, complete and box. They, I guess, didn't know what they had. But like X Premium for years, complete and box was like a $70, $80, $90 game. I got it for $36.
X Premium is something that I never really see. I see X, but not X Premium. And if you do, it's usually not very cheap. Fire Pro D and Second Bout weren't bad at all. I think the Fire Pro D was like, for the sealed copy, was like in the 20s. The protectors that I bought for them were actually more expensive than the games. So hopefully I'll be able to find some more. Like I said, I don't know about collecting the whole thing. It's one of those ideas I have in my head, and I'll start off and then eventually be like, this is silly, and I'll move on to something else. But we'll see how far I actually get with it.
I wanted to do sealed, but and granted, this is like 10 years ago. I couldn't find anything sealed except there was one Age Tech Fire Pro R on eBay. I remember seeing sealed, but the seller wanted like, and it's probably not there anymore, so it must have sold. But like, they wanted like $300 for it, and I was like, buddy, that game was $15 at Kmart.
Yeah. I was looking at like Revenge, and I saw some like crazy prices for those, but also like sealed and graded, and then protectors and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I still have Revenge, but like the box is a little bit battered in. I'm pretty sure I have like the instruction manual as well, but I was like, I'd like to move on to the Aki games as well and get them sealed, but that seems like a pretty expensive thing to do.
I got lucky at the beginning of the pandemic. I got Revenge complete in box, mint, like nowhere on the box at all, for like $40.
Jesus.
And I got World Tour. The only blemish on it is World Tour. The booklet had like a rental sticker on it. Everything else, immaculate shape. Cartridge was clean. Box was immaculate. I got that like $25. And then I found out how much worse it is trying to do that same thing with the WWF games, because I think I paid 50 or 70. No, I paid 50 for Mania 2000. No Mercy was like $75 or $85. And it's crazy to me. The pandemic fucked everything up with the prices of those games, because I called like a local game store here at the start of the pandemic, because I was like, I'm going to get an N64 and fucking I'm going to ride this shit out. and they told me how much it was going to be, and I was like, wait a minute, $140. How much is the N64? And they told me, and I'm like, you're telling me No Mercy's a $40 game now? And the guy's like, yeah. And I went, since fucking when? I was like, is it one of the revised copies? And the guy was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, but you know to look on eBay to see that Revenge is currently being listed for fucking $40. Awesome. But yeah, like seeing that Neo Geo, like the trailer, you see like how sleek the console is, and it's like, oh right, yeah, there was a point when video game systems actually looked fucking cool.
Good.
Like
Yeah.
they looked like this. I remember somebody saying this on YouTube like 15 years ago. Like the Sega Genesis Model 1, if you have that thing and it's like cleaned up, it looks like a modern piece of tech. It still does. Model 2 Genesis still looks beautiful. Neo Geo AES still looks beautiful. I still think both versions of the PlayStation 2 look incredible. And I'm one of the few people that actually kind of likes the glossy George Foreman toaster PS3 because it looked like a really high-end piece of fucking technology. And that's not what these things look like anymore.
Yeah, I mean they look like video game consoles, but like the Xbox Series X is just a black box, and the PS5 looks like an oversized modem. So yeah, I mean, I think too. What you know, the original PlayStation, PS2 were good designs, but there was something I think when it comes to design that we lost when we went from cartridges to CDs, because you lost that big slot on the front where you put your cartridges, and that was like you knew you were playing like a video game console. And I guess the regular NES didn't have that, but you know, the little door that you open to put the cartridges in. And then after that, it's just like when it became more CD based, it was like, you know, the design wasn't as unique, because then when you have CDs, you just have a cover that essentially it's like the same as a CD player instead of cartridges. It felt like its own thing. But yeah, I mean, the PS1 design was good. The PS2 design was good.
The Sega
Dreamcast,
Saturn was beautiful.
I
Dreamcast,
love,
yeah.
I love the Dreamcast. I love the way it looks, and yeah, everything now just sucks.
Like what I wouldn't give to go back to nice looking consoles with like pixel art games.
Yeah,
Because like again, to circle back to that fucking Neo Geo, like you see all of the stuff SNK put out, and it's like even into the early 2000s, they were still dropping games that had like super high fidelity pixel art.
mm-hmm.
And like you could still have gotten away with that even in the era of like, look at how realistic this is, and it's just, you know, the PS2, which was absolutely a powerhouse, but like SNK was still putting out pixel art shit that looked just as good.
Yeah, it's
And
a
I
shame.
think it could still be there.
Well,
Honestly.
while this console is cool, it's kind of a shame the state that SNK is in, where they're owned by the Saudis, and
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks.
yeah.
Also, I saw there's like a Metal Slug 30th anniversary trailer, and it says like new mission coming soon at the end.
Oh, so we're getting a new
And
one of those.
I worry because I've seen what that new Fatal Fury looks like. Divorced from like the obvious awful aspect of the Saudis owning SNK, that new Fatal Fury looks like shit.
Yeah, I know that Jeff Gerstmann wasn't a fan of it when he talked about it.
Like, it doesn't look good. The gameplay doesn't look good. And it's always so disappointing when you see an SNK game that looks bad because, again, for like decades, they were associated with like, these games look amazing.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't like pixel art, fucking look at this new King of Fighters game. Look at how good this looks. And now it's like, this game looks like it had no budget at all. But then, like, they have fucking, don't they have like Ronaldo or some shit in fucking Fatal Fury?
I think so.
I just don't fucking get it. I would prefer that the Saudis didn't get their hooks into as many Japanese video game companies as they have. Because they've got their hooks in Capcom too.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how we reverse course from here if we even can.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like them them owning the SNK IPs blows so hard.
I don't think that like they're gonna pull out of a bunch of things anytime soon. I think if anything, that's gonna be more what the future looks like, where they own more and more. Um, I know they
Yeah.
provided money to David Ellison to buy WB, but I don't think they have any like majority stake in it or anything. Um, yeah, it sucks. And this whole like we were just talking about like celebrities in WWE. Now we got Ronaldo and Mark of the Wolves. It's like, all right, whatever.
It was
Like,
funny when I was like 10 and Shaq and Michael Jackson were in fucking Ready to Rumble boxing, but they were jokes.
yeah, just some of it is just shit. What can you say? I think when the Beastie
Like,
Boys were in NBA Street, that was cool.
yeah. Like I'm looking at this fucking Ronaldo trailer and they've got him fucking up Terry Bogard, and that's like the lamest shit in the world, bro.
Ugh, yeah.
They can't disrespect my boy Terry like this. That's the thing. You just can't. It's not allowed. And I know that like there's some crossover with like Street Fighter 6. I think Terry might be in that game, but
I think
like
so.
Saudis are invested in both companies. Makes perfect sense.
Mhm.
And Paramount's distributing the Street Fighter movie, which we got the trailer for that this week also.
Boy, that looks dumb. I saw so many
It's a
people
Street Fighter
like
movie.
I saw so many people that were like, "Oh my god, this looks so bad! Can't wait to see it." And I'm just like, "What if? Wouldn't you rather just have it be like a good movie?" It's like there's so much focus on like, "Oh, it's Street Fighter. It should be dumb and campy." And I'm like, but like Assassin's Fist, like it had its moments, but like it took itself pretty seriously. And Street Fighter, the animated movie, is at no point is it like winking to the audience, being like, "Isn't this so dumb?" Like it just plays out the way it does. And it's just like, what if you just try to make a good movie? You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. I thought the teasers saying like the characters and stuff was kind of cool, but like when I watched the trailer itself, I was just like, this is just silly. This is just dumb. I think Andrew Koji seems like he's going to be pretty cool as Ryu. Um, but everyone else, I'm just like, oh, I don't know.
I have a lot of the same concerns for that movie that I do for Mortal Kombat 2 in terms of like snark being overbearing.
See, to me, I get like the complete opposite vibe from those movies. But you know what I really hated was like Ken, because like Ken isn't like a douchebag. Like he's got an ego, but the way they portrayed him in the movie was like with like the surfer hair and like he's on MTV, and I'm like, ugh. I really didn't. It feels like he's like more of an influencer. Then that's what the whole movie to me feels like. It's the what it's for. It's very much like in for the influencer generation. And when you see the cast, especially like
And
somebody
it's
like
weird because it's set in like 93 too.
yeah, but when you see the cast, even when they're like appearing at these events and stuff, they come off as very like influencer based, and I'm just like, I don't like anything about this. As
Well,
opposed to
that's what
like,
Scholes is. That's what Andrew
I know,
Scholes is,
I know.
unfortunately. Fuck him.
Is it any shock that he is in a movie for Paramount? Him and like 50 Cent specifically.
Weren't they attached to it before? No, Paramount picked the movie up from somebody else. Never mind.
Yeah, it was supposed to be by the Raka Raka brothers. They're actually in the trailer. One of them getting
Oh
hit
no, I
with
meant
like
like
a
the distribution company. Wasn't it like somebody
right.
else initially and then Paramount picked it up?
I think so. I can't remember.
I saw somebody in the Frame server say this looks like it's going to be the best live action Street Fighter movie. And let me be perfectly clear, this shit doesn't look as bad to me as it does to others. It does look really dumb, I will agree. But this movie is not going to be better than fucking JCVD Street Fighter. It is not. There's no fucking chance.
Assassin's Fist was also put together as a movie, and I don't think it's going to be as interesting to me as that was. On the other hand, like everything I've seen from Mortal Kombat 2, I really enjoyed. They released the scene of King Jared and Shao Kahn when he kills him. That looked pretty cool. So that's definitely like a theater thing for me. But Street Fighter, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm gonna go see both. My concerns with that movie are just Kano's in it, and he's probably gonna be written like he was in the first movie. And his whole thing is he's a smartass. He's not making jokes every fight. Like he's a fucking homicidal maniac. And in the movie, the first movie, he's like fucking Star-Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy. He just doesn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
He like Kano's not fucking Deadpool. And I like Carl Urban. I don't necessarily want to see a movie centered around Johnny fucking Cage.
I think there's probably a lot more focus on Katana than people maybe realize. This also comes from like the reports from like the test screenings and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it goes. All I know is that studio was really high on it, and they talked right away about wanting to do a third one. It seems like the pre-sales have been really good, and like seems very likely that it's, if nothing else, it would make back its budget. I guess it was made like it wasn't made for like it wasn't super expensive or anything, right? Which, hell, remember when movies weren't that expensive to make and they could make their budget back? Wasn't that a crazy time when movies used to make money?
Yeah, but that was a pre-streaming world when we still had like home video and shit too.
Yeah, but
I mean, we still have home video, but you know.
I guess what I'm saying is that a lot of these movies, they don't need to break the fucking bank over. They need to be more in control of things that they're doing. But you know, I guess it's
they're
like
also using these things as like money laundering too now, though.
That's true.
Like the movie budgets are inflated, but like there's no way some of these movies are costing that much money to make. They're fucking doing some weird shit.
Yeah.
And I want Mortal Kombat 2 to be good. I think not having the writer from the first movie is a nice step in the fucking right direction.
I think like also like Martin Ford as Shao Kahn was just like, holy shit, he got like the biggest dude in the world to play Shao Kahn. That was pretty genius casting.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get optimistic about anything, honestly. See how I feel when I leave the theater.
Live life.
Yeah, it's a real shame to have to live life with no optimism, but
you can't be let down if you're not looking forward to anything.
If you think everything's gonna suck, guess what?
Yeah.
You won't be wrong most of the fucking time. And when stuff doesn't suck, it's like, wow, look at this. It doesn't suck. It's a horrible way to live, but it's the only way to live, I feel.
I don't know if you heard about that new Resident Evil movie, but I guess they're just doing like their own thing in it. That might be I saw a lot of people complaining like, oh, that doesn't have these characters in it and have this, but it's like maybe that's for the best. You know, maybe it's for the best that they do their own thing because they've tried to shoehorn those characters in and it hasn't worked out very well. So, you know,
my thing at this point is maybe they just shouldn't adapt it for fun. I understand wanting to make movies of stuff. If you can't get, I mean, the old Mila Jovovich movies are perfectly good action movies, but like, if you can't actually hit the fucking notes, why bother? Other than capitalism. Yes.
I saw the George A. Romero's Resident Evil documentary recently, and that whole thing was like. Sorry,
I forgot that was coming out.
Yeah, it's on
I didn't know that
YouTube
was
for
actually
free.
out yet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's getting watched today.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I I I don't know if I had seen the commercials for the second game, or if I haven't seen them in years. But like to have him like on that shoot and stuff was just like, and him like he didn't play the games, but like his intern like beat them and would send him like videos of everything that was important and stuff. I thought it was really neat to watch and to see him like take all that and put it into the script. It sounded like he was super invested into it, and it just all went bad. Did you see that Night of the Living Dead remake trailer I sent you?
I did, but I watched it in the break room, so I didn't have sound on. I
Oh,
also
did you
don't
see?
remember much of it.
So it looks really bad, but I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, this looks terrible. And then all of a sudden, RVD shows up with a gun, and I was like, oh, what?
Okay, I
All
do
right.
remember Van Damme. I remember like nothing else about it.
That was pretty much the only reason I sent it, to be honest, because I was like, if I send this without context and you watch it, and all of a sudden RVD shows up, you'd be like, huh?
Yeah, that was kind of my reaction. I was like, was that RVD? But like, I didn't have fucking sound on because I was in the break room, and you can't have sound on when people are loudly having fucking phone calls and shit.
How
Apparently.
have they, how have they never had like Sandman caning zombies in one of these movies?
Well, there was that Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies movie years ago, but
Yeah,
I have
he
no
should have been in it.
like. Yeah, I have no recollection of who was actually in it. Also, apparently, no fucking figure reveals for Zombie Sailor at WrestleCon.
It looked like he was from a picture I saw. It looked like he was next to like the Stardom signings. I was like, you need to walk over and it's not gonna happen. But I was like, I wish you was like get a deal made with them. That'd be very cool. But like realistically, no.
I wonder what it would cost to even license, like the Stardom talent.
No idea. It'd
Like,
be cool though.
do you have to go through the promotion, or can you do it individually? Or
I think you'd probably have to go through the promotion because I think anybody that's in New Japan that's had anything released, it's always got like the New Japan logo, no matter who it is, right?
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah, and they're a part of New Japan now, so
right. Bushi Road was like, we're not going to have the wrestling companies. Wait, no, didn't they get spun off?
no, they were under the Bushi Road banner, but now they're officially 100% under New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh no, you know what? That's right. I remember reading that, which says one of two things to me. One, either Bushi Road just decided we can't have two promotions losing money, so we're just going to have one. We'll just kind of combine them. Or one of those promotions, how do I put this? The only reason I could think of is like you want it to look like only one thing is losing money instead of two, or you want it to look like two things are losing money, but they're losing less if you put them together. I just said the same thing twice. Never mind. That's the only explanation I've got.
I don't
Because
think
like
I don't think Stardom would be losing money because like I can't imagine the talent gets paid that much, and like their attendance, especially last year, was like really good. They were getting like 1,000 plus for every Korakuen Hall show they ran, and like I think not the last one, but the last one before that had an attendance of like 940 or something. And I guess this was a concert at the Tokyo Dome at the same time, and then the next time they ran Korakuen, it was back up again. So I don't know. I don't feel like they'd be losing money, but who knows?
I mean, DDT was doing really well for a long time after Cyber Agent bought them, and they were a huge money loser. Same thing with Noah. Like Japanese wrestlers typically make far less than you would imagine, but the economy is also shit.
Mhm.
And you kind of have to, I would imagine at some point, especially when, your talent's leaving for, more money in America, you do have to offer people more money. And attendances are great, but we know from every other promotion in Japan when they claim attendances, it's not always legit. Even Bushi Road does this with New Japan. Years after they told stockholders they were only going to announce real numbers, they got caught. Was it 2018? 2018 or 19? They got caught with like some kabuki-ish numbers. where it's like that doesn't add up when you look at how many people are actually in the fucking building.
Yeah, I guess Ross Yogawa still does that with Marigold. Is like they announce the attendance and the building can only fit so many people, but somehow the attendance is higher than what the building capacity is.
We're going off the '90s capacity for these buildings.
Yeah,
Fucking
I like
3,000 people in Cork and haul my ass.
I like the jokes last night. It's like, does when WWE is putting the attendance for WrestleMania, do they count Bianca Belair being pregnant as another attendee?
100%, 100%. I also saw like a screenshot in a Discord I'm in that like they claimed like 10,000 less than they had last year.
Yeah.
And
realistically, it was more than that.
yeah, for sure. And it feels like that company's cooling off, which thank God. But also their fans in particular hang on a lot longer than fans of other forms of entertainment.
Yeah, sort of like a virus or a disease.
Yeah. And like I said, I watched night one of that shit. I cannot fathom being somebody who watches that product regularly.
I've seen people talking about like what happens with like WrestleCon and Mania weekend next year, and like Mike Straw was suggesting like, does ECW run a ECW AEW run a big show? And I was just like, no. It's just like you can get all the indies together on WrestleCon. If you go to a big wrestling city, like you're going to do very well. So that's what I think should happen. But like, and like at the same time, we get rid of all like the WWE fans. Like we let green T-shirt guy and Brock Lesnar guy be held hostage on a plane or something like that while we enjoy wrestling. You know, it works out well for everybody.
The rumor I saw was that AEW was looking to pop up like a big show in the US. And I imagine if that happens, you're going to draw a bunch of traveling wrestling fans. And also, where the traveling wrestling fans go for a big wrestling weekend, typically independent shows will pop up too. Which is why I think if it happens, we're getting at least WrestleCon, maybe WrestleCon and Starrcast. It would be huge.
It would be awesome. And I saw a few people suggesting Wrigley Field for AEW.
Oh, that would be a huge fuck you to CM Punk. They should do
it. I've never been like I really don't want to go to the US. I really don't. But like I was looking at like people at the Stardom show and I was like, God damn it, I should be there. It's bullshit that I'm not.
Oh, I don't blame anybody for not wanting to come here.
Yeah, it was funny seeing like the Tokyo Joshi Pro didn't do very well, but like they toured Texas recently. I think like they sold out, hard close to sell out to like all their shows. But I guess like the Vegas tickets are just like super expensive, right? So, having everyone together in a city where like tickets are like affordable would be the dream.
Yeah, and also like having expensive tickets on a weekend like that feels like the death knell.
Yeah, definitely.
And also it's Vegas, which, 10, 15, 20 years ago, huge tourist town, a lot of stuff to do.
Not
Doesn't feel like Vegas is that anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to shoot Honey, I Blew Up the Kid there these days.
Probably not. Vegas was somewhere I wanted to go when I was little. Like when I got older, I was like, I want to go to Las Vegas once because Street Fighter 2, mainly. And I don't, like I've watched the Backyard documentary 8 million times, and I kind of want to go and hang out in the casino the Lizard played the WWF Royal Rumble arcade game in before he, did the Tough Enough tryout and found out he wasn't fucking selected.
I've never had a real interest in Vegas. Probably because I get addicted to the machines and like lose all my money.
Yeah, I don't have that going on. Like I hated gambling in the Pokemon games.
Yeah, I sort of got a problem with that when I win a bit of money on like the online games. I go on for too much, but yeah. So I should keep away from that stuff. But if it was in Chicago, that would be very cool. I've never been to Chicago.
I've only been once, but I'm about to be a second time in about 3 months.
Yeah, that's right.
for the G1 opener. And it's like we're going up the day before, but the way shit is, like, I'm probably just gonna chill in the fucking hotel. Because
Yeah.
Hoffman Estates is like an hour outside of like regular ass Chicago.
Hmm.
And yeah. Yeah, I don't feel like driving an hour into the city. Especially because I've heard like entering into like the main parts of the city from certain areas isn't ideal, and I don't know the difference between them. And the Ask Chicago Reddit was not particularly helpful when I was asking about stuff around the time of Forbidden Door.
I
So,
wonder. I wonder where like the Galloping Ghost Arcade is located.
see, that was the one thing I was thinking was if we could rock up there because it's like $15. You just fucking play games.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see like the old Williams building and stuff like that, just from a like historic perspective.
I would love to see that. Isn't that like the NetherRealm building now too?
I don't know. I thought it was maybe something else, but it might be.
You know what? It's 38 minutes from where I'm going to be staying to the Galloping Ghost.
You should go.
I'm fucking thinking about it.
It'd be a fun time. I mean, something like that.
They
You
have
know,
Primal Rage too.
who knows when you're going to be in Chicago again? You know.
They got the unreleased Primal Rage 2 up in this motherfucker.
Nice.
Or at least they used to. God, look at all the games.
Where's the was the old Midway office located across the street from that, or was it somewhere else? I can't remember from the documentary. It was a different arcade. Must have been.
Might have been. I don't know how long Galloping Ghost has been open.
I just remember like Ed talking about how like they would go work on the game and like go across the street and go to like the pizza place there and stuff.
Oh, it opened in 2010,
Ah,
apparently.
yeah, yeah.
You know what? For an arcade to survive 16 fucking years and for part of that 16 years to be the COVID pandemic,
They're
that's
doing good
impressive
stuff.
shit.
Yeah, it's really
Oh, it
cool.
opened. So it was founded 32 years ago as Galloping Ghost Productions, but it opened as an arcade in 2010.
Hmm. Yeah, you should definitely go.
I kind of want to, just looking at the list of games,
You can go to the
because
pro wrestling tees store and get some bad t-shirts.
I want to walk in there and be like, "Why do your O-ring wrestling figures look like shit? Why do they not
Ah,
actually have O-ring construction?
they sell them
Where's
in the
Colt
store though,
Cabana?
right? Yeah.
Where's Colt Cabana? I need him to answer for this." Yeah, they have fucking everything. This is crazy.
Yeah, if I was going there, if they did have the indie weekend there, it's definitely a place I'd want to go to.
Yeah, it blows my mind they have Primal Rage too. I loved the first game when I was a kid. I had a bunch of the toys.
Yeah, I never really got into it. I remember renting it for the Super Nintendo, but
I think I
that's
had the
about it.
Game Boy port because I got a Game Boy when I was like 5, and
Yeah,
for a long time, the games that I got that were like mine were just the Game Boy versions. So shout outs to
yeah.
Killer Instinct for the Game Boy. I wish I still had that. Fucking shout outs to the Super Game Boy. I really wish I still had that. That thing was crazy.
Did you see that thing that someone was working on to port Game Boy games to Game Boy Advance?
Yeah, I want somebody to run like WWF Raw through that. I'm trying to see what that looks like.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It's not just like colorizing it. It's like upscaling and screen size differences and stuff. It looks really neat.
Like genuinely, I do want to see like all of the WWF games, like Superstars One, honestly, especially because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
got the big detailed sprites and stuff. That would be really cool.
yeah.
Um, I'm curious as to how exactly that works.
I don't know. I'm curious too. Like I've been looking into a lot of like the decompiling and stuff, scene, and I bought didn't buy it. I downloaded the Star Fox 64 that they released, which was called Starship. So you load it up, and you've got like the cheats menu, and you've got like widescreen support and stuff, and obviously texture wise, it looks better than it does on N64, and it's really neat that all this stuff is being done. There's a version of Ocarina of Time called Ship of Arcandian, I think it's pronounced. Some other stuff as well that people are doing, and I have also seen like Star Fox 64 on like Dreamcast and stuff. And so it's like this whole scene is like really really cool right now.
Yeah, I wish that the Aki game scene was bigger in terms of people that knew what would be required for a decomp.
Yeah.
Because like the modding scene for those games is great, but it's so much smaller than like the more popular games on the N64.
Yeah.
And I know Freem's still working on the decomp. And eventually that shit will be finished, and it will be a wonderful day for all of us, honestly, to have like a native PC version of like Virtual Pro 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like the stuff you would in theory be able to do with it is like endless.
Yeah, it's really neat. It's like the decompile stuff is like some of the best stuff going right now in terms of like video games and all the shit that people are doing. It's good stuff. I like it a lot.
So there was something recently about like a decomp tool for PS2 games.
I don't know if I saw that. I thought I saw there was another console. Was it
And like
Xbox?
I know 360 was one that I saw had like decomp and recomp tools.
Right, yeah.
And my thing is like, man, fucking why don't you decomp like Wrestle Kingdom real quick? Well, let's in terms of 360 wrestling games, decomp Wrestle Kingdom and Impact. Fucking PS2 decomp, like the dream there is like for me is Def Jam. Because if you could decomp that and move things around and rework stuff, we can get Mayhem too.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
Like it's not out of reach, just kind of sorta. I guess they launched a whole ass page for Metal Slug's 30th anniversary, but like it's very video heavy and it's loading super super slow.
Just how you want to experience Metal Slug.
Yeah, a game that's known for being like fast and fluid. We're just gonna chug through this website.
Slow and heavy, yeah. Sounds like me.
Apparently the last anthology they did of those games, the one that was on PS4, had all of the same problems of the PS2 one, which is a shame because they're pixel art games from the late 90s and early 2000s. How the fuck is it hard to emulate those?
It shouldn't be. Oh, something I want to talk about. I bought Samson.
Oh yeah.
So I loaded that up. I was really disappointed when I first played it. I was seeing like a lot of stuff that you'd see in the PS2 GTA games. Like you'd get out of a car if you're too close to a wall. You instead of standing next to the car, you like stand on top of it. And I was seeing like NPCs like walking towards cars and standing on them, or like being on top of a on the side of like a building or something, and like they would walk so they're no longer on the building. They should be on the ground, but like they just land. Like there's no following animation or anything. They're just like continue walking and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, and the car felt not good to me. So I went back to play it. I left it for a few days, kind of disappointed, and I went back to play it. And they released some updates. Maybe it was just me, but like controlling the car just felt better. And I started to do some of like the getaway base sequences, and that was really where like I felt the game shined because they felt like really good like action movies. Like the city's is small enough where it just felt like something you'd see out of a movie, like a really good action movie. The way the chase scenes were happening, and when you destroy the other cars, like they flip in the air like 20 times, like the Penguin's car and like the Batman. And I had situations where I'd like ram into someone and the car would explode, and it reminded me very much of like the explosions in Mad Max the game. So the chases were like I was like, this is really damn cool. Um, the combat still feels really uneven and weird. Um, you've got like a parry system and evade and like your light and heavy attacks, but like they often just feel like drunken bar fights where you don't know if things are connecting, and sometimes they look like they're connecting and they're not, and sometimes they're not connecting, but they look like they are. They're just like very awkward. So unfortunately, the combat doesn't feel very good. The best part about like the hand-to-hand combat, and this isn't hand-to-hand, but like grabbing a weapon and chucking at someone, and like their face instantly goes bloody, and the it's just the throwing weapons at people never gets old. Um, but like you do get a lot of the same missions. It's like deliver packages or pick up packages, and the locations, if they're not exactly the same, they feel very much the same. So you're just repeating stuff again and again. What you're doing is you're doing jobs every day to pay off your debt. Your sister's being held as collateral, so you have to pay it off to so she's free. So you're doing these missions again and again. It's just like very, very repetitive. So I ended up cheating. I was like, I'm just gonna get all this money so I don't have to do these damn missions anymore. And there is like a main story with different chapters, and that has cutscenes in it and stuff. Um, but sometimes that doesn't pop up straight away, so you're still left doing those missions, and it's just like, I don't want to do this stuff anymore. Um, so I did end up beating the main story. It wasn't very interesting. I mean, there's fun parts to it, but overall, it's just kind of bland. So it's definitely like a mixed bag. We'll see what happens with it, like how far they go with the updates and DLC. I know that some people had found parts of the map that weren't playable, that had like NPCs just like stuck in place in buildings you could enter and stuff. So I don't know if it's a case of where the game was unfinished and they rushed it out for release, which I mean seems to be the case anyway. Like they knew they were gonna have a bunch of bugs. But I don't know if like through further DLC they plan on like expanding the map or whatever. Um, we'll see. But like I said, there's some aspects that are cool, like the driving, the chases, the weapon throws. But it's very very tedious.
I saw there was a Digital Foundry review of the game, but I didn't look into it yet
Hmm.
because I saw Digital Foundry made a video kind of simping for that like DLSS bullshit.
Yeah, I saw
That's
that.
basically just like a shitty AI filter, and I was like, yeah, you guys just took a massive fucking hit to your credibility, huh?
Yeah,
Because you
I, I
want
I didn't have any problems like with the game running or anything. Well, actually, I did have like a frame rate problem, and I just went into my settings and then goofed around a little bit and was able to fix that without any issues. So as far as like the game running, I didn't have any problems at all. But there was also some missions that were broken. Like there was one was like go to the basketball court and beat up all the drug dealers, and like I go there and it's like you beat up 10 of them, and I'm like waiting, like where are they? There's no one here. I'm like all alone. Like I've got a reservation. There's no one here, and like I stepped out of the area, and it's like you're getting too far away. And I was like, all right, I'll go back to it. And like I'm waiting, and no one showed up. So I couldn't complete that mission. I had to fail it because there's nothing I could do. So unfortunately, there was like situations like that. It's yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, I like the idea of it of like we got people from Mad Max that are working on this game. We're releasing it at $25 or $35 Canadian, but they didn't hit the mark, unfortunately.
I I saw a review for that replaced game that mentioned
Yeah.
there being like input lag during the combat, and that kind
Mm.
of disappointed me.
Yeah, that sucks because that demo was really fun.
Yeah, I didn't notice. I noticed a little input lag, but apparently it's kind of heavy in the final release. And I don't know what platform, if they were playing on Xbox or PC. But hearing that there was like heavy input lag made me go, I think I'll wait for a sale on this one. I like
Yeah,
the
that's
premise, and it's a beautiful looking game.
yeah, it's very cool. That's unfortunate. I did hear that Samsung is coming to consoles as well. So, maybe I'll have a bit more content and all the fixes by the time it releases consoles. Um,
Yeah,
there there is another game on Steam, a demo on there called Dead as Disco, and it's like an Arkham combat system. Where you have the reversals with the Y, you're doing heavy attacks and evades and stuff. And it's all to like the beat of different songs, and you can add your own songs um to play as. And visually it's super super cool. And like I said, it's in a demo state right now, but like that's definitely one that I'm really looking forward to like picking up when it eventually releases in full.
I had never heard of this. It looks very interesting from the screenshots.
It is super cool. Like I was playing it and my hand ended up hurting by the time I was done playing it, but like the combat just feels really good. And like putting your own songs in and being able to fight to the beats and stuff is like just a really interesting idea. There was one level that it like transformed me to another level, and it sort of looked like it was going to be like a Guitar Hero grid, and like it loads up, and all of a sudden you're on train tracks, and I was like, oh shit, and you have to like get on the avoid the train as it's coming, get on the other side, and yeah, it's a really really good looking game.
I'll look into that. I hope it's able to run on the deck when
I'm
it
not
does
sure.
finally release. I
Yeah,
think
I
it
think.
said it comes out in May.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't know it was that close, but yeah, cool.
It looks like that's when it's entering early access on Steam. I just looked it up. I'll see if the demo runs on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I keep looking at the AES Plus launch lineup, and I'm like, why the fuck isn't 3 Count out here? I know
Yeah, I was thinking the
nobody's gonna
same
buy
thing.
that fucking game, but like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, it's on GOG, so
Yeah, I think it's on Steam too. I know that like a lot of those old SNK arcade games, they just pieced them out on consoles and like collections.
yeah, it's sometimes wacky, like the wrestling games that you find that are just out there, like some of these old games. Because I know that's not like the only one. There's some other stuff on Steam as well, I think.
God forbid, fucking Royal Pro Wrestling be available.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean it. 3DO emulation is not particularly difficult or bad or whatever. God, 7.99. Why are these SNK arcade ports on the Switch so expensive, bro? I got Slam Masters for like
who
$1.
knows?
Come on.
Yeah, I bought that too. I was like, at least they'll see that someone's bought a copy of it. Maybe that'll get something going.
Hey, do you think if we showed MBS fucking footage of Slam Masters, he'd drop everything Capcom's doing and make them make a wrestling game?
I hope so.
You think if we show, I'm just being a shithead here. I don't genuinely ever want to interact with that regime, but like
Oh,
they clearly like wrestling because they knew who the fuck Yokozuna was. Do you think if they found out 3 Count Bout was a thing that existed, we could get a sequel?
probably not, but I wish it'd be nice.
I want Fire Suplex 2 to sponsor the next Blood Money show. Let's get that going.
Hell yeah. Uh
We can get Ronaldo in that game, and
oh
he can
god.
take brainbusters from fucking Terry Bogard.
I see Big Bang Pro Wrestling is on Steam.
Yeah, it's on the Switch too, so I like that game a lot.
Yeah, it's
It
neat.
took me a minute to get the grapple timing down, but that game's a lot of fun.
I never played that Teenage Blast Junior like side scroller, and I wanted to. I don't know if it's still up on here.
Yeah.
Oh, Bop and Wrestle
Remember
is on
when
here too.
no fucking way.
Yep, for $1.70 Canadian.
So that's probably what, 99 cents US? Let's
Yeah.
find out. $1.49.
Oh, nice.
God,
99
developed by
cents.
Beam Software. Oh, dude, it's on sale. It goes up to $5 on May 1st. They are smoking crack.
What is Lucha Masters? Oh, that doesn't look like my type of thing. It's always interesting to check wrestling every now and then on Steam to see what's in, and you get a bunch of porn games.
Oh, God. I mean, Bop and Wrestle's one I've not played. That would be a fun one to cover for the podcast once I've shed what little humanity I have left.
Does it have controller support?
Oh God, yeah, that's a concern. Is it Steam Deck verified? I say about a game from fucking 1980. Unknown if it's supported on the Steam Deck. Well, motherfucker,
Oh, jeez.
let's take a look on YouTube.
It might be too,
Too graphically intensive.
yeah.
Oh well, this might shock you. Nobody
Oh,
has got a video of it running on the Steam Deck.
Neoblast Junior's Adventures. It's $1.19. I think it
So
was
I
originally
first
like a
learned about
mobile game.
this Bop and Wrestle game from that Joe Gagne's Funtime Arcade YouTube
Right.
show.
Yeah.
Which shout outs to not that Tom Green. He edited that series or whatever. Uh, I fell off with those videos once I realized he's just fucking parroting whatever you would see in like GameFAQs reviews. Granted, I do believe they're like his own opinions or whatever, but like I don't know when it feels like I'm just listening to an audio version of like GameFAQs reviews I didn't necessarily agree with. I kind of don't so much enjoy the show so much. There's
I
like some
think
funny bits on those though.
I think I just fell off because they stopped being uploaded as much, or like there was a gap between uploads. So
And then they just like stopped.
yeah, exactly.
Like I want to say my memory is like wait, what is this? I have no memory of Muscle for the NES being the last one that they did.
No, I don't remember that at
I
all.
have no memory of them covering the backyard wrestling games either, but given the rest of the shows and like the opinions expressed, I'm willing to bet you I can take a shot in the dark as to what he probably thought of the backyard games. And I
Yeah.
understand like they're not good traditional wrestling games. They are very fun, just like shithead arena brawlers though. I wish game development was still in a place that like games could be made quickly and relatively cheaply. Because I would love to have a backyard wrestling type game right about now.
I know. Friend of the show, Mr. Dark, was sending me a few games that small games that like wrestling games that have been going on that what is it ITCHIO? I don't know how to say it. It's something like
Oh,
that website. There's been like a few little wrestling games going on there, and I was like, that's interesting. Like, why all of a sudden are people making these small wrestling games?
okay. Now I need to check. Do any of these games feature a character that looks like Tiger Mask? Oh, hey, Bastante Bueno's on here.
Yeah, that's oh. I got this one called Payback 2015, a game about wrestling love, people being jerks, and a 16-bit John Cena theme, and it looks like uh Dream Daddy with like the shield.
Oh, there's a
Uh,
game on here that's called like Rumblefest '89, and the title screen clearly is meant to evoke like WWF superstars.
yeah, I had that on my Steam Deck, I believe. It was released I think it was on that old ROM's Mega thread. There's a lot of Survival Tobitas on here.
Oh, we got. I mean, some of these just don't look like something I would necessarily play, but
There's some that. Do you see that one called
can we?
Power Slam? That looks it's somewhat neat.
Okay, I just went by that, and it's $4. Oh, it's a game for Mac. Oh, I just saw like a screenshot of the match, and like this clicks so many things in my brain aesthetically.
Yeah, there's another one called Pocket Slam Plus, which looks like a Neo Geo Pocket game. It's got Zangief and actually it might be all Street Fighter characters. There's Mike Hagar as well, and the ring is the
It's got the
CWE.
bird head guy from the SNK games. Does this have like a rotating perspective, or is this just like the angle of the ring that they no, because it's like a different perspective. And
There's a TJPW Game Boy game on here. Jesus.
I just found that one. Yeah, there's some wacky shit going on. Fucking itch.io. Jesus Christ.
Lucha Libre Forever looks very much like that game that dude's making, that 2D game with like the tables and stuff.
Yeah, like OsioWare or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe the developer name.
There's a lot of stuff here to check out. What was the one
Oh,
he
it's
said?
by that person.
Oh, is it? Okay, that makes sense. Trying to see what the one Mr. Doc sent me was, but Twitter's a shithole. It won't let me access my messages, so screw that.
So does this
Oh,
TJPW game play on like actual Game Boy hardware, or is this just like a stylistic choice?
I think it's just stylistic. The one he sent me recently was called Action Figure Arena. And another one called Masks in Masks, but it's like masks as in like mascara and masks. Ever wanted to play as a lesbian wrestler? Hell yeah. Not Sonya Deville though, she sucks.
I don't even remember who that is.
She was on Tough Enough, she was like in MMA, not like anything major, and she's like the commissioner on like TNA now or some shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Apparently
cool
somebody made a Paul Heyman dating simulator.
Paul Heyman. There's Enochiism
I
Simulator. I don't know what this is.
If somebody says Enochiism, 9 times out of 10 they don't actually.
Yeah, it doesn't. Flair Country 8292. There's a lot of interesting things here. People are doing some cool stuff.
Yeah. There's some neat looking shit here. I don't know
Don't know how like
the wrestling game.
I don't know how like involved it is as into like, actual gameplay. Do you see this one called King of the Streets?
Yeah, but it's not based on that Fight Club from Sweden where they book all the white supremacists to eye gouge each other. What is this? Arresting wrestling pinball. Oh, it's a pinball game. Well, shit.
Ah, pinball rules.
I liked the one pinball game I had on my Windows ME computer. I was a fucking monster at that game.
Main event, a territory wrestling career simulator game. It's neat.
Test Tube Titans, huh? I don't think I'm paying $10 for this, but this looks really neat. You apparently grow a character in a lab and you send him out in the world to fuck shit up. What that has to do with wrestling, I'm not entirely sure.
The only thing about this stuff is like how much replayability is there actually to it, and probably not a lot. Yeah, they're not like super, full games or anything like that, but I appreciate people trying to do stuff though.
I'm very much waiting for the next build of Bastante Bueno.
Yeah, all that wrestling has like actual wrestlers in it, right? Like Steve Kern pinball, Jimmy Valiant looks like Sabu. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Headhunters.
I saw R.I.P. Sabu in the title on there. That's cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, Bastante Bueno. Like I definitely can't wait for that next release.
I think I need to see some like video of what this Rumblefest '89 game looks like. Excuse me.
I think I've played it. I definitely played like a NES type wrestling game on the Steam Deck because it ran on the emulator.
So does this? So are they not releasing these games on like Steam? Or are they just like I applaud them if they're just releasing stuff for free, but
Yeah, that one is definitely free, I think. Oh, maybe not because it says purchase when I click on it. Oh, the game is free, but the developer accepts your support by letting you pay what you think is fair for the game. Okay. Maybe I didn't play this. Got some of that Tecmo World Wrestling aesthetic to it as well.
a little bit. And then
With the
like once you
menu.
get into the actual matches, it's like kind of like a top down. It sort of kind of looks like Tokon Club.
I was just about to say that, yeah, like the wrestlers themselves, especially the short ones.
Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of like actual, wrestling going on here.
Yeah.
That's interesting, at least. I mean, oh,
Yeah.
on the side of this recommended video, games Sega should be ashamed of. Oh
That
god, there's probably a couple of them.
that same studio that does that Retrofest, they've got a game actually on Steam coming out in fourth quarter called Vice Magic City Mayhem. And it looks like an 80s inspired RPG with dinosaurs. It's kind of interesting.
I've never actually seen gameplay footage of the Batman '89 game for the Genesis until now.
Yeah.
I can see why this is on a list of games Sega should be ashamed of, because this doesn't look nearly as good as the NES version.
It's true.
But I don't know what this looks like. No, you know what? This game does look horrible. Never mind. Also in this video is NFL 97, I think it is, for the Saturn, and that game is dookie. Big smelly pile of shit there.
They did just put like every Sonic game as a part of that list.
No, so they shouldn't be ashamed of Sonic. He's blue and he eats Doritos. So he's alright by me.
What about Shadow?
I honestly didn't finish the video. I like Sega Lord X's videos. Shout outs. Those are typically very fun videos to watch. I fell asleep watching something a couple of nights ago when I actually loaded up the YouTube app on my TV, and I woke up to like a Patman video and I was like, fuck man, he's gone. That sucks.
Yeah, that wasn't fun hearing that.
No, he made a lot of really cool videos.
Yeah.
He got mad at me on Twitter once because I think Josh Suey from Midway was like, "Oh, I've never played in your house," and I was like, "It's got a lot of personality. It's not quite as good as Mania the arcade game." And I think he thought I was saying that In Your House was as good, as Mania the arcade game? And like, no, it's not. It's absolutely not. But like, In Your House definitely has like a lot more like personality. Is a good word for it. Like everybody has their own
Yeah,
stage
definitely.
until the final stage, which is like the generic like arena or whatever. But it doesn't play as good as Mania the arcade game. And the older I get, the more I wish they would have just. You basically have those guys doing all the bumps and stuff anyway. Why can't you just piece together actual wrestling move animations and use that game as a stopgap before you do your quote unquote simulation game in '98?
Yeah, well, it wasn't very good, but I mean, as you said, like everyone having their own stages and everything, give it a bit of charm back in the day, you know?
Yeah. You know what the world needs? Fuck all these games that are inspired by the Aki games. I want somebody to make a game inspired by Thunder.
I don't know if anyone can reach that level.
So I've fucking drink enough Monster Energies and snort enough fucking crystal meth, you might be able to get there. And just because it's unattainable doesn't
Maybe.
mean that people shouldn't try.
That's true.
Revive Inland or die trying.
I'd be wild to see. I'd actually really be wild to see something like that these days. But you'd have to do the promos as well.
Yeah, and you got to get like. See, here's the thing: you can't really do like licensed stuff, so you got to find voice actors that are willing to get like crazy about that shit.
Yeah, you know what the problem is with today though is it'd be all AI.
Fuck it, I'll do like half the voiceovers for the game for free if somebody wants to put the fucking legwork in to make it.
Can you speak German?
I can speak a little bit of French. I mean, I can
Sprechen Sie
listen.
Deutsch?
I can fucking watch that Alex Wright promo from Nitro and basically just rip that off. And then I can do the "Hey man, this is Alex Wright, the German."
Oh, so good.
I'm
I
glad he clarified that it was the German Alex Wright, not the other one that they had.
I still really want WWE Vault to like upload those videos, any behind the scenes that they have.
I'm curious if they have them just
Yeah,
because like those were
it might just
filmed
be
by THQ.
yeah, so it might just be them that would have access to that stuff. The original THQ.
YouTube YouTube recommended me a video of this guy showing off the rare WrestleMania DVDs in his collection, and I completely forgot that they did an alternate version of the WrestleMania anthology that was like leather bound, where it
Yeah, that's
looked
right.
leather bound.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine dropping that much cash to get that like secondhand now, and like all of the manias are edited to fucking shit.
Oh my god. It's
The
all like
horrible, like all-time bad dubbing job where you can still clearly hear Demolition underneath the shitty rock music they dubbed in.
imagine if they did it, but it was more like WWE 2K where you've got the referees' faces blurred as well.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
It's just it would be unwatchable.
We haven't talked about Demolition in 2K. So I saw speculation. I don't know if it's been confirmed or debunked that they might have done an AI version of the Rick Derringer theme for those guys.
I saw it was credited as Def Rebel, so I mean that doesn't mean they didn't use AI, but they're the credited artists on the song, I believe.
But here's the thing, they still own the rights to that fucking song. So
I don't know what the deal
like
is. I really don't.
they have they haven't delisted that Federation Years thing from Amazon, I don't think. And if stuff's available digitally, that's still a pretty good indication that it's like available or whatever the fuck.
They've done stuff like this
So,
before too, though. Because remember, they redid the WrestleMania 6 theme, and they also redid the Heart Foundation theme. And
yep.
they actually WWE Uncaged released like a remake of Ringmaster, and I think Rick Martel's theme as well.
I think the at least the one on Uncaged 3 was the actual Rick Martel theme.
Okay. So for some reason, like these old themes, they are doing. I don't. I would hate to think it's like they're just like, oh, we want a more like updated version of it. I would hate to think that was the case. It must be some sort of licensing issue. I don't know what.
So I guess they released the last Uncaged album in 2021,
Yeah, it's been a long time.
and that one apparently was like CFOS or whatever the fuck they were called.
Right.
Why do we need like NXT era themes, big dog? Like there were still so many like Jim Johnston themes to release.
I'm glad there's like these YouTube channels that get their hands on some of that rare stuff, especially Jimmy Hart stuff. I guess he sold all of his stuff, right? So you see that pop up on YouTube every now and then.
I need to rip the Girls and Cars instrumental that popped up
Hell
a
yeah.
couple of years back. Because I wanted that version of the song for years, and now I realize it's literally just the opening of the song like looped.
Yeah.
But still,
But there's stuff on there too, like somebody had like the arena version of the NWO theme with like the actual quotes used for it and stuff, as it was in 1997, and just like stuff like that is really really neat.
okay,
Nobody's got
it
the
was the
mods
history of
anymore.
wrestling music account, right? I don't want to have to like play the song while I'm recording. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we don't get delisted or the music gets us
No,
taken down or
all I heard was
whatever.
like do do, and then it went off.
Scroll into the comments and you see people saying Rick Martel is underrated, and unlike every other time I've seen that word used, I agree. Because I don't think
Yeah.
Rick Martel's thought of as being an all-time great, even though he very fucking clearly is.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Yeah, he was awesome. He was great. Tito's good too. Oh right, we're getting an El Matador in the same series as Blue Trunks, Triple H, Kona Crush, and Bull Nakano. What a lineup that is! Two post Hogan Boom characters, a new generation character, and fucking middle reign of terror Triple H. And Diamond Stud's the build a figure, for God's sake.
I like this. Newsweek fans are already calling it one of the worst WrestleManias in history. A show dominated by ads ended in complete confusion. Sounds about right.
Yeah, because fucking Orton loses the match and then he does the fucking punt kick.
Uh huh.
So now, like, is Cody going to be off TV for a few weeks? Are we crowning a new champion? Like,
I don't think they thought about it that far in advance.
yeah, I don't know. It just seems very short sighted and stupid.
Can I say this too? Like for months now. Again, I don't watch the show, but I've seen stuff on Twitter. But you know, they've had Oscar like bullying Kyrie, and you know, logically, you would feel it would lead to Kyrie standing up for herself and beating Oscar. So then they involved Io, who over the past year, you know, won the women's title, has been one of their top stars and like got super over. So Io goes on social media and challenges Oscar for WrestleMania. Guess who's not booked for WrestleMania? Oscar,
Yeah, it doesn't shock me.
Kyrie, Io.
It's Triple H.
Like Io, that women's triple threat last year was probably like the best match at Mania. I really enjoyed it. She's been like constantly one of the best people in the promotion. And you know, Oscar's been around forever. And you don't put them on the Mania card? Like I
Got to bring Paige back.
oh my god, Jesus Christ, why? And she's
Because that's a name people remember from 10 years. People are nostalgic for mid 2010s WWE, dog.
and then she goes on there and she's like, I'm a WWE girl forever. And it's like, oh, do you remember what happened when you were there?
Yeah, and clearly not a WWE girl forever because you took a 2 year fucking vacation in AEW.
I just thought it was funny is like when she wrestled that All In and people were upset that Sheeta didn't win that match and Also, Emi Sakura is like, the one thing I want is to go to Wembley Stadium and come out to We Will Rock You. And they did that for Paige instead. And like, she comes back to WWE and people are like, oh, Bailey and Lyra, they definitely need to win. And she comes back and she wins a title on her first match. And it's just like, oh. Yeah. I don't
I'm
like
looking
Paige.
at the card for night 2 and just I don't like her either. Jesus Christ, buddy, this this looks dire.
Yep. Yep.
Like you have Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi, which I guess is the opener because they want people to watch. Here's my thing: the idea that that's going to air on like big ESPN, and then people are going to want to watch the rest of the show. The kind of people that are going to be into this match in terms of like just wanting to see big dudes fuck each other up, there's none of that on the rest of this card. You
No.
have a fucking multi-man ladder match. You have Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley, and if Rhea Ripley can get anything above 1.5 stars out of Jade Cargill, my hat's fucking off to you. Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams, where the crowd's gonna probably boo the shit out of Sami Zayn, and they're gonna cheer the guy that he's against. It's way fucking cooler than him. I don't know how much of a match that's gonna really fucking be. The Damon is going to be wrestling fucking Dominic Mysterio, which, again, if you're the kind of fan that sees like Obafemi and Brock Lesnar and you're like, this is my shit, that match isn't going to do anything for you.
I like,
And then,
I saw an account that's like, Dominic doesn't know what he's done. The demon's coming back. The fucking dude loses every match he has as a goddamn demon.
yeah, and also he doesn't wrestle any fucking differently.
You remember when he was pulsating on the floor with the heartbeat in his theme song?
Yeah, I do.
Holy shit.
I mean, God bless Devitt for getting the bag, and he's got to be in the 7-figure-a-year club at this point. If he's not, what the fuck? But yeah, no, he's not. I do not care to see the Damon. Finn
Nope.
Balor.
Cousin
And then
Fergal.
you got fucking Punk and Roman in the main event. I guess if Roman loses, they're doing like he's gonna leave. Look, man, CM Punk's a bitch. He's still a pretty good wrestler. I do not think he's getting a good match out of Roman. I think in a different era, in a different time, in a different place, CM Phil would be like, we're not doing the fucking monologuing. We're gonna have a wrestling match. And it might be all right. I do not think that he's going to fucking be like, no, let's have a match. He's gonna fucking play along because this is all he's got left, and it's gonna be the fucking Roman Reigns special, and it's gonna suck.
When he was on we didn't talk about when he was doing that promos like lower the ticket prices, and people are like, oh my god, is this real? Is it a shoot? And it's just I hate people. I hate
Dude,
people.
somebody sent me that and was like, my friend Travis, I think it was, shout outs to Mute. He was the one that sent it to me and went, I don't ever want to hear anybody shit on Vince Russo WCW again.
He's like lower the ticket prices, and then Pat McAfee comes out on SmackDown and is like, don't go to Sunday show. Okay. All right.
Well, no, because Pat McAfee was on the Saturday show that they had to do the 25% discount on the tickets for. That's the show he's going to want you to be at. Jesus, what a fucking stupid thing. And you know, they could have avoided all of this if they didn't fuck New Orleans out of WrestleMania.
Yeah, true.
And if the ticket prices weren't so goddamn high, and if maybe the product didn't fucking suck, like, this isn't even a like it was better with Vince thing. It was better before the TKO merger because they basically made it their fucking mission statement from the jump that like, oh yeah, no, we're going to integrate fucking, celebrities and athletes into this. And we're seeing the final form of it and it sucks. It's like the most devoid of any sort of substance product I've ever seen. Like the word slop gets used a lot for stuff that isn't. This is fucking slop. This is shit that is just being turned out for like the lowest common denominator that has no fucking cognitive function or ability to think for themselves. Like this is jingling keys for like a bunch of just dumb fucking babies. Like if you can watch this shit and genuinely go, I think this is better than any of the alternatives in the same genre, you're lost. Like AEW is not perfect. AEW does a lot of things that I think fucking suck. There has not been a point other than maybe like 3 months in 2024 since AEW has existed where I would honestly say the product wasn't significantly better than WWE.
Yeah,
And to clarify, the couple of months I'm referring to is like fucking April, May, and June of 2024. Because shout outs to the Cody Rhodes title reign when it started, because that shit was good.
It was crazy, these past few days and seeing people like shit on WWE and they're like, "Happy WrestleMania Day," and I'm like, I can't stomach it anymore, and I don't know at this point how people do. Like I've sat through a lot, and a lot of that was just growing up with it being, from being a kid and felt like I needed to watch it, and now I don't have any desire to watch it, and I don't know why. I just don't see why anyone does. Like it's I don't know. I just feel like if you're a wrestling fan, it's not a product for you. Like I think last night showed that there wasn't all those matches that were less than 10 minutes. Like people were praising like the feud between like Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer, and they went out and had like a nothing match, like a TV match. And people are like, "Oh, they didn't. That's not what we want." And it's like, what do you expect? This is what they do. This is what they do now all the time. Like it seems like every month people are like, "Oh, this pay-per-view sucked." Why did you expect any different from WrestleMania? Like just because it's WrestleMania doesn't mean they're going to be any better.
Right, but people there's still value in that name for people.
There shouldn't be at this point.
Again, WWE fans are the last ones to fall off.
I know, but it's also like people that you feel should know better. Like you see people on social media, and it's just like people that even if they don't have like a similar mindset, they're out there viewing different things, and it's like time to watch WrestleMania, and I'm just like, why? Like, what are you getting out of it? Like, it's going to be mostly commercials now, and the matches are not going to be anything, so you're better off spending your time doing something else. If there's one match that you want to see, you're probably better off waiting till it's done and hearing whether it's good or not, and then watching it later, as opposed to watching the whole damn show.
Yeah, but a lot of the people that are predisposed to watching WrestleMania because it's like a yearly tradition going back to their childhood, they don't give a fuck about match quality either.
I
watched that show last night with a friend, and when I said like a match sucked, he was like, "What do you mean?" Like, it was the fucking women's tag title 4-way. My friend was really happy the fucking Paige got the win in that match. I was like, "That match sucked." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "The match was bad. It was not entertaining."
I can't.
And he was like, "My fucking favorite girl won." Yeah. I mean, half the reason, like I said, was I got shoehorned into it because when somebody tells me, like, listen, I'm having a fucking mental health crisis, and I get in a phone call with them, like, I'm whatever you want to do, I'm doing.
Yeah.
And he had fucking Mania on, and I was like, motherfucker, I'll put it on because I don't like when I talk to somebody on the phone and they're talking about doing awful things to themselves. Like, if I can help be part of the distraction so that doesn't happen, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I think it's like my friend that I used to watch it with, the guy that went crazy when I said fuck Charlie Kirk. If he was like, I'm gonna, watch Mania and we have drinks, I'd be like, sure, I'll go over. But if I'm in an altered state of mind, I can at least have fun. But like, I'm not gonna watch that shit sober because I can't do it anymore.
You know what the most diabolical part of last night was? Like right after the main event starts, my friend's like, man, I'm feeling much better. I'm gonna hit the hay. And I'm like, fucking main event's not over yet.
Why would you do this to me?
You can't have me sit here for 8 minutes of this fucking main event and then just leave me here. The fuck are you talking about? And I could have turned it off, but I'm like, I'm 8 fucking minutes into the main event. Yeah. I gotta know how it ends. And so I'm hoping that I don't have anybody being like, do you want to watch night 2 of Mania? Because 6 matches in 4 hours where like only one match is going to go 25 minutes and it's a match that I would rather just didn't happen. Uh, it's just slop. Watch Dynamite on Wednesday.
Watch anything else. I mean, like those Mania, those indie cards on the weekends, like a lot of stuff I wasn't interested in, but like I'm sure I could find a match here or there. Then again, I love Stardom and I really enjoyed that show. So yeah, just watch anything else. Watch paint dry. You'd get maybe get a high out of it. It'll be better than watching WWE because you won't get shit all out of that.
Yeah, you will not become intoxicated if you watch the WWE. I mean, maybe that's the key because, like I said, my friend was like getting progressively like more hammered throughout the show, and he was having a great fucking time after a certain point.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I'm just like, "You all right, buddy? You doing okay?" And he would keep like, obviously circling back, and I'd be like, "Okay, let's talk about that because I really don't want to watch this." And
yeah,
if I can help like not have bad things happen, I will. But he fucking left me halfway through the main event, and I was just like, "Motherfucker!"
it was a setup to
God, it was
get.
all the years of me saying I thought the Fed sucked, and he's like, "I'm gonna show this
Yep,
motherfucker."
he got you.
Sure, fucking did. Is there anything else for this week? I feel like we've hit everything. Did
No, I think that's we can save the wish list stuff for the next show because and I brought up Data's Discord. I feel like there's some interesting stuff that we could recommend to people. Um, and I'm looking at my list now, and I was like, God, who knows when this stuff is going to come out? Some of this stuff.
buy
Um,
Pro Spirit 26, please?
oh hell yeah! Like I said, I bought last year's game, but I was so intimidated by the having to go through the Japanese text again. I was like, oh, I didn't really spend too much time with it. So when 26 was announced, I was like, God damn it! But like, I'm happy. I don't have to translate everything, so that's cool.
Oh, real quick before we go, I went to the F4W website just to see if anything like as grim as it sounds. I was going in hopes that like Vince McMahon would have died. He didn't, by the way.
Uh,
But it pops up: get wrestling coverage that actually matters. This from the same website that has somebody that I'm pretty sure is doing AI slop articles,
Oh, 100%.
and somebody that posted an article like Miles Bourne on how he began dating Stephanie Vicker. That's wrestling coverage that matters. I totally give a shit about that story.
It's legit sad. I mean, say what you want about Dave, but like to see his website become such trash is like it's upsetting, you know?
To see the state of the Observer is upsetting too.
Yeah, yeah, it's unfortunate.
Like, he doesn't report on a lot of shit anymore.
No, and he blocked me because he said something like take the plunge or something without any context, and everyone was like, "What?" And I was like, "Take the nasty plunge," and the next thing I know, I was blocked, and I was like, "Okay." But yeah, I mean, it. I just all I can say really is that like, it's a shame. Like you see those Observer yearbooks that go out, and they're really cool. They're really things to look back on. And sort of like the state of the Observer and the AI bullshit on the F4W website, and Brian Alvarez doing those typical YouTube thumbnails and stuff. It sucks.
It's awful. And like, the star rating system doesn't mean, I mean, it really truthfully didn't mean shit to begin with, but like, it used to be a very useful guide for people that were trying to like broaden their horizons when it came to pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And it's not that anymore.
No.
It can't be that anymore because it's obvious he's fucking handing his buddies like the higher ratings. And if that's Dave's actual opinion, then God fucking bless. But when you see matches now that 5.5 stars out of 5, And you watch the match, and you're like, this would have been a 3.5-star match like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Or it would goes the other way. Dave would have ripped this apart like 10, 15, not even 10 years ago. He had already lost the plot. But like 20 years ago, Dave would have been like, these guys aren't very good. Like I watched Van Dam and Sabu from Hostile City Showdown 96, fucking close to 15 years ago now. And I went, no, it's 10 years ago. My bad. And I went and I read Dave's review of it, and every single criticism he had of that match could unironically be applied to the Osprey Ricochet match that everybody fucking lost their minds over.
Hmm.
And I was just like, yeah, no, that guy's not in there anymore. He's making a newsletter to praise his friends and put his buddies over so they get the big contracts, and he doesn't report on fucking anything. Like Brawl Out and Brawl In would have gotten far more exhaustive coverage from Dave Meltzer in a different.
Yeah, definitely.
But modern era, because his buddies are involved, and honestly, with the benefit of hindsight, it kind of does feel like Punk and Jericho talk to Dave more than anybody else, which is funny when you consider Punk's what I perceive to be Punk's relationship with Dave. And like nothing got resolved.
Yeah.
NDAs were signed and people tried to move on like nothing happened, and you can't necessarily do that until everybody's willing to have a resolution. And maybe if the facts were out there, a resolution could have happened. I don't know. Maybe it would have been worse. It certainly would have been funnier. But I see stuff because again, I get sent a lot of stuff from like Twitter, and I have to take it into the fucking browser and try to navigate that shit show. There's people arguing like, oh, at least the old Segunda Caída guys were sincere. These young wrestling fans talking about older wrestling aren't serious or whatever. Like, look, dude, if somebody on Twitter is like 20 or whatever and they're watching like Kuniaki Kobayashi matches, fucking shout outs to them. To deride anybody as being insincere is insane unless it's obvious that they are. Like, I don't know, Matt Kuhn with his fucking Hulk up bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Wrestling people are weird. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
And right now I'm watching Sean Ross Sapp and Brian Alvarez in the clusterfuck.
That's a fucking sentence you can say out loud.
Brian has some good chops, I'll give him that.
Yeah, he's just really short.
Yeah, it was, what is it, the chop and something connection, him and Tom Lawler?
Chop and roll?
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that super kick wasn't very good. Oh well.
Yeah, but Brian's kind of old too. He's like 50. Or close to it.
It was funny, like not watching any of the videos for a while, and I seen him like, oh damn, he's got old.
I used to like listening to him wig out about stuff, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I fun listening to like the Iota shows. I really like Brian and Vinny back in the day, and that stuff's still out there. I still like listen to it sometimes. Like the best of Wrestling Observer Live with like Jim from Virginia talking to Missy Hyatt and Conan and what's Vampiro's friend's name again?
Kevin Gill?
No.
Violent J?
No, wasn't this dude like a lawyer? He did like tapes, right? I can't remember. But him and like
Bob Barnett?
Yeah. Him and like Conan like arguing and shit, and like James from Kentucky, the chicken farmer and stuff, was Dynamite Dave. Tell him not to use that name again, or I'll sue and stuff like that. It's great.
I gotta point this out since we're talking about the IATA shows. Absolutely, if you haven't listened to the WrestleMania 17 live review one, it is awesome.
Yeah.
And also, if you're a Between the Sheets fan, you'll recognize the voice of a young David Bixens fan calling in, where he makes a great point about the Rock and Austin match that I didn't agree with until I went back and rewatched the match years later. Where like the match is great for the first 10 minutes, and then they don't do anything worth a shit basically after the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then he said like he expected more from TLC2, and Dave was like, What did you want, a hanging?
There was that time he called in, and this was on the best of when he talked to Bischoff and talking about the Hummer angle, and Dave and Bix is like, "You're the last one to talk about logic, though." I like when he calls in and it's the Missy Hyatt show, and Jesus, and Dave's like, "Oh, save my show, save my show," and I think it was Bix. He just goes, "What do you want me to do? Talk about pride or something?" It's good stuff.
Those IATA shows were a trip. I used to have the whole like every episode that was available on like my external
It was so much
hard
fun.
drive.
Me and my friend, when we went to the last Dallas Mania, drove down to when we drove down to the airport, we were listening to that on the way there. It was a lot of fun.
Those IATA shows are like look at a completely different, like literally a look at a completely different time, but like the way people talked about wrestling and everything was so fucking different and so much more grounded in like reality.
Mm-hmm.
And like I see the IATA stuff and I remember all the ads for like the Observer and like Wow magazine, in trying really hard when I was like 9 years old and I just got on the internet to get my mom to let me subscribe to the Observer.
I used to listen to the IATA show like every day after school. You know, sometimes I'd take my dinner into the computer room so I could listen to it. It's fun stuff, you know. I miss times like that.
Yeah, I miss that era of wrestling in general because we still had 3 national companies and I was a lot less jaded.
And it was also through that show that I learned about Pride, and you know, I became such a big fan of that at that time. Yeah, it was. I won a roller derby DVD from that show, which I actually never watched. It's around somewhere.
That's wild.
Yeah, the cover on it is like a roller derby rank thing.
I miss like the early days of the internet. I saw that the Death Valley Driver board is coming back thanks to Orange Crush.
Okay.
I don't think it ever went away, but it's being like rolled into their website. Excuse me, and the interface is going to be getting an upgrade, and I loved DVD-VR because a lot of my viewpoints on wrestling were kind of formed by reading that board and just conversations I had with people.
Yeah.
And anybody who took part in like the discussion of like the Mid-South DVDs or the any of those 80s territory sets, like we were watching a community of people like discover wrestling in real time. Not that people didn't already know about stuff, but like you saw people's horizons broadening as your own were. Like I watched everybody else in those threads getting smarter too, and it was like the fucking craziest shit. Because like you would see somebody be like, I really liked this match, and somebody would have like, you know, a pretty thoughtful like, this is what I didn't so much like about it, and it didn't turn into people fucking insulting each other. They had like a conversation, and other people would jump in, and fucking everybody learned through like just this conversation. Like everybody's fucking understanding of what we had all watched fucking grew, and that's like the coolest fucking shit. And it's why I hate wrestling discourse now, because if you say you like something, it means you have to like dunk on something else. And like, granted, I'll take every opportunity I can to dunk on Modern Fed. I watched fucking 4 hours of it last night. It was the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. But I miss when it was like, you know, here's a thread for like the last Noah Budokan show, and there'd be like 2 or 3 pages of discussion about like the booking, and then like, oh, the matches are up, so now we're talking about the matches and like what we liked and what we didn't like. And then that feeds into another thread because, like, oh, the last B Banquet episode fucking finally popped up after 8 weeks.
Yeah.
I miss that shit.
Yep.
But also, that was a time when I liked wrestling way more than I do now.
Yeah.
I'll always like watching the stuff I grew up with. I'll always like watching the stuff that I've never seen that's from an era that I have an attachment to. My opinion of modern, like current, like stuff that's on TV now has never been lower. And that's not going to change. It's just going to kind of probably get worse. But, you know, the Vault page put up inside the WWF, so please watch. It's a fun little tape.
Yeah, the Vault is like the best thing they've done in a long, long time.
If I could vote for the Vault as like the best wrestling promotion of the year or like best weekly TV, I would.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely
very, very glad that someone had the idea to do that.
And I'm glad that like the person in charge is like one of us.
One of us. One of us.
Looking at it, the colors on this Inside the WWF upload are super vibrant. I've been wondering if they've been trying to add like Dolby Vision HDR to some of this stuff because like the blacked out parts of the arena appear darker than I remember them on like network uploads for stuff, or just like darker than I would imagine. But like here, the black levels are like much deeper than we would ever have gotten on like a network upload, and the colors are more vibrant. And maybe this is just me being used to watching a fucking VHS rip of this tape.
I don't know. They probably are doing some changes to it.
I mean, it looks great. God damn, there's a lot of empty seats. You know, it was 93, 94. Shit happens.
The people are dressed as chairs.
Yeah, like when the Young Bucks and Cody were on top in ROH and they were feeding Dave bullshit attendance numbers. No, they totally had 1,500 people at that TV taping where like they don't shoot the upper deck in Lowell, Massachusetts at all. 100%. God, I am 100% watching this tape when I eat lunch momentarily. But yeah, that'll do us for this week. I will not be available next Sunday. The following Sunday, however, I will be available. I also believe the following Sunday is the day after GCW's ECW Arena show, which I have already resigned myself to the idea of staying up to watch that bullshit. So that'll be something. So we'll cover all the news and figures, video games, etc. at that time. But until then, take care and don't be an asshole.